Welcome everyone to the Dragon Cast. Yeah, it's not dead. It's alive, and we're alive, and we're here to cast some dragons.
We're alive?
Yeah.
Maybe from the outside at least, but we're dead inside.
Well, yeah, I mean, we live in a world where Broly is in continuity to Dragon Ball proper, so,
I wasn't actually thinking of Broly immediately, but I mean...
Oh, no, you brought
you know what,
it up.
though? Like, that's really got nothing to do with anything. You know what, we're actually okay. You guys actually shouldn't worry about us. We're actually alright. It's just we all got really busy and stuff, and then things were happening, and then things kept happening, and now we're like, hey, maybe we should actually start doing the Dragon Cast again, because even though only a few people watch it and listen to it, our friends listen to it, and also sometimes it's fun.
Yeah, no, I feel like we usually get something out of this. Yeah, and plus, I still enjoy rewatching Dragon Ball and re-experiencing it and getting a fresh opinion on these arcs again. And, oh my god, like, now that everything has been settled, because we were actually going to, literally, the last time we made plans to do the Dragon Cast, the day before our planned recording, my PC was struck by lightning. Because that is...
Wait, actually lightning?
Well, very specifically, it had been raining for days, and thunder and lightning storms for, a week straight, because I live in Florida.
Yep.
And, I mean, this isn't, the first time I've had, a piece of electronic equipment burn out because of lightning, because of a power surge. But yeah, just some lightning hit, knocked the power out, caused a bit of a power surge, and it burned out my CPU. And then, also, there was the Texas trip, that was originally the KamehaCon trip, but then I was like, I'm not doing the KamehaCon part, so now I'm just doing the Texas part. And then also, I had to move.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I moved, and I'm in a new place now, and yeah. And now
I swear at one point, my internet was struck by lightning at some point as well, I think.
Yeah,
I remember
before I had my problem, we were trying to do something, and, your internet just would not work for you. And it's just for fuck's sake, universe, let us record the Dragon Cast. Thank you, please.
Yeah, seriously, what are we doing? Exactly, what are we doing to you? You seriously need to deny us talking about Dragon Ball? Is that seriously such a big priority? There are bigger problems in the world that you need to solve right now, okay? Higher being?
Well, look, okay, the universe just will not allow good Dragon Ball opinions to exist. You've been on YouTube. You've been on Twitter. You've been to the Reddit.
Oh, actually, Reddit's not that bad, but that's just because people are They moderate everything that goes in.
Yeah, that's I'm about to say Therese is there to keep shit in line.
I've seen stuff from her mod queue. There's a lot of stuff which is so this is what it would be like if there wasn't someone manually checking everything that people post.
So, where we last left off in Dragon Ball had this arc had really picked up for us.
Finally.
Because after the very long slog that was the General Blue portion of the story, we finally got to Tao Pai Pai. And, the thing, I am still bewildered by, how ass-draggingly boring the General Blue stuff is. Because I'm like, General Blue, yeah, he's just over-the-top, campy.
Sion, it's been months! It's been months and you're still not over how boring it is.
Look, okay, I used to think that this arc didn't have, major down points in it, and the mere fact that, I don't know, it's when you grow up and you find Santa Claus isn't real. It's what do you mean? What do you mean everything that I held true in the universe was wrong?
Oh, I'm sorry I ruined your childhood.
Yeah, it's just, I didn't realize just how, just how ass-draggingly boring that shit got. And, it's not even it's just a problem with the anime. The manga, it's just oh my god, this General Blue shit goes on for, a good long while, and it feels like the story is just kind of going around in circles and not making real progression. And then the anime has to exacerbate that because it has to stay behind the manga, and I'm for fuck's sake, kill me. This is so boring. Like, you introduce this elaborate, campy, fantastic villain, but he's just doing the most boring bullshit after, like, his introductory couple of episodes. And also, I will never forgive Psychic Rope.
Of course, oh my god,
And its
I almost
power
forgot
level
about that.
of fucking infinity. No, I'm not gonna forget about it, because that was really dumb. It was really fucking dumb.
Oh man, that was that's been a recap of the stuff that we'd been talking about those months ago.
Yeah, no, like, yeah, but we are past General Blue, we are past Pirate Caves and Psychic Ropes. We are now just...
And that Dr. Slump crossover thing.
And that Dr. Slump crossover thing that went on for way too long. Was that 2.5 episodes? God, like, that should have been
something like
an
that,
episode.
yeah.
It should have been an episode, and it would have been a great single little episode, and it would have been a lot of fun, but no, they just stretched that bitch like taffy, and it was really boring.
You know, more manga material isn't just going to appear out of thin air, they have to wait for it.
So yeah, so last time though, Tao Pai Pai, he gets, he is hired by the Red Ribbon Army. He confronts Goku, whips the shit out of him. The anime added some cool stuff where it's just like, like one of my personal little favorite shots was like him flicking his ponytail and whipping Goku back to the ground mid-punch. And then he Dodon paws him in the chest, steals what he thought was all of his Dragon Balls, only to realize that there was the 4-star ball in his gi protecting him. Great little scene. It's like, oh, it's like symbolism that his grandfather is protecting him. And that's also really cool because we know how this arc is going to end and where that's all leading. So now Goku is climbing Korin Tower to get the Super Spirit Water, I think is what my subtitle said.
Yeah, I mean, we have the same subtitles. I think that's what Clyde Bandelin decided to call it.
Yeah, MacGuffin Water number 1 is what he's going up there for.
Yeah, we could just call it MacGuffin Water right now because we didn't, according to our knowledge, we don't even know if there's a number 2 or number 8.
Yeah, or if the anime is going to add in its own MacGuffin waters in a series that Toriyama had nothing to do with. Or a filler arc.
Right.
Yeah,
Garlic Jr. I still have not watched that.
Really? Oh man, great!
Yeah,
I get
fun fact.
I get to experience your first viewing of that then when we eventually get to it.
I mean, somehow I get a feeling that I would have watched it by then, but
well, don't ruin it because because I actually do want to get it on recording just your immediate reaction and just. Will you enjoy it? Will it be a dumpster fire? I remember liking it, but people keep telling me that I'm wrong, so I'm like, oh no, what if I don't like it? So, yeah. Anyhow.
I mean, right, we should actually get to the episodes. The new new episodes?
Yes. Episode 61, Goku he gets to the top of Korin Tower, and right out of the gate we get some filler, but it's some filler I personally really liked, where Goku is opening up these jars of magical water, and there's one for the past, one for the present, and one for the future. So the past or the present one, it shows Bulma and Kuririn, and it's okay, it's just showing what they're doing in the moment. The past, which is Goku seeing Chi-Chi, and I actually kind of think that's neat.
Which conveniently allows them to recycle footage from previous episodes.
Oh, yes, most definitely. It allows them to reuse that footage. And I thought it was kind of neat, though, because, it shows him Chi-Chi, and, at this point in the series, they have no clue just how important of a character Chi-Chi's actually going to be. So, it's kind of neat that, it's almost super foreshadowing.
I mean, I guess it's just because they couldn't put in Roshi or Bulma or whatever because they're in the present one. So they're like, oh, let's do someone different, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I guess they could have animated a whole new scene of Goku with his grandfather or something. But yeah, no, it is.
Wait, because that scene though, that was from the Red Ribbon stuff, right? Pre-Red Ribbon beginning filler arcs, right?
Mm-hmm.
it's been so long since I've watched those episodes. I've kind of forgot where it came from.
Yeah, that's where it originally came from. And then we get like Baba and like, you know, like, well, actually we get like giant monster centipede, and then like,
yeah, okay, what was that? Can I just why was there a centipede in the jug, and then it's like strangling Goku, and then it's like there's like visions, I guess, but why the centipede?
Okay,
I can understand him seeing visions of the future, but why is there a centipede? Why was he grabbing the Dragon Ball? Why do they keep using that like shot from the ending where the Dragon Balls like get like someone's like basically playing bowling with the Dragon Balls like 3 times? Like, what was that?
Okay, one, the Dragon Ball bowling thing, it just looks visually neat, and it's just. I think it just looks. It's just a cool visual they wanted to use.
Yeah, but they did it like 3 times, and I'm like, oh, the first time was fun, and they just kept doing it again. I'm like, stop.
Okay, I will say
Once
though,
is enough.
I guarantee you, the centipede is probably some sort of Japanese mythology thing. I guarantee it.
Maybe
because like pretty much like
I've
every
just
time.
Never heard of it before.
Like I guarantee you, there's probably some Japanese or Chinese myth about centipedes in the future. And I guarantee you, if there is, somebody is going to comment that. Like someone is going to let us know.
It's just like I feel like if there had been a thing, somebody would have said so. Like, you know, one of our friends or people in the fandom would have mentioned this at some point, like Herms or Lance or someone.
Well, I mean, how often do people really talk about like a one-off filler scene from the
like
anime?
I remember Kanzenshuu once is a whole thing about the like the gold and the silver brothers thing, because that's a thing from Journey to the West. Like, surely someone has talked about this before, and if they haven't, then I guess we'll have to do the research ourselves, Sion. We'll have to do it ourselves.
I don't want to research. That sounds like work. But
fine, I'll do it.
There you go. Cool. I was like, you have more free time than I do. So then Goku finally meets Korin, and something I'd never noticed before until this watching is that like he actually refers to himself as the Neko Sennin. And I was just like, oh, like he's the Neko Sennin, like how Kami Sennin is the Kami Sennin. And it's like, that was just kind of neat.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so like you know, like he's the cat hermit, and the Muten Roshi
so cool.
is.
So could it be like, man, they could have really expanded that if they really wanted to, because I guess at the end they only have 3. You could have had like a whole zodiac of different Sennins.
Yeah, no, it probably would have been cool.
Wanted to, you know, stay on Earth for a little bit longer. That could have been fun, but oh well.
Yeah, no, but yeah, that was the first time I'd ever really picked up on that or noticed that, and I was just like, because I remember like the subtitle saying like, you know, oh, okay, he's the cat hermit. I'm like, all right, but it never like clicked with me in the same way, and it was this time around where I was like listening to the audio, and I was just like, whoa, wait, the Neko Sennin? Oh, that's neat. So yeah, I thought it was neat. It stood out.
Well, then again, like he calls like Roshi like the Muten Roshi. He doesn't call him like Kame Sennin. Right. So I don't know. Maybe it wasn't supposed to be like that's the reason why they're similar. I think it's just more like there's just Sennins everywhere, and it's like that's just the generalized term.
Oh well, I mean, like that's what a Sennin is. It's just like, I mean, it is a thing. Like, I mean, shit. I believe like Naruto even uses the word Sennin for like the higher level ninjas. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and also Naruto has Sennin mode.
Yeah. So. But yeah, I do find it interesting though that like you had like, you know, the turtle Sennin and then like the cat Sennin. So yeah, it was just something that stood out to me. I thought it was neat. It was the first time I've ever picked up on that. I don't know if Toriyama did that intentionally, or if that was just a coincidental thing. It's just like, oh, he's a cat and he's a hermit, whatever. But yeah, I thought it was neat. Then we got some kind of... Okay, so we have a filler segment that starts off... It starts off cool and then ends stupidly. So...
Like, stupid cool and...
Yeah.
Oh, God, it's like...
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, so you know how when it was like, what was fun about Tao Pai Pai was like, he was sort of quirky, and he had all these like weird interesting quirks to him. I think like it started off fun, but then like it just kind of became quirk overdose, and to the point where I'm like, I don't even know if I'm watching a human being anymore.
Yeah, because, okay, like, we get to see him walking around in generic Middle Eastern, like, city, and, like, you have, like, some guy who's just like, oh, fuck, that's Tao Pai Pai. We should cap that bitch while we have the chance. So, guy, act like a badass, like, points his rifle at him, and, like, fires a shot off at his head, and Tao Pai Pai kicks his shoe off, his flip-flop, deflects the bullet with it,
and then he just puts the shoe back on. Like a boss.
It like flips in front of him, and he just walks right back into his flip flop. And
can I just say how absolutely weird it was to see this guy holding a completely realistic looking sniper rifle, and I'm like, is this kind of generic sort of Middle Eastern Indian looking guy, and he's just holding this incredibly realistic looking sniper rifle, and I'm like, this does not work. Like this just looks very weird.
I don't know. I mean, I've seen people carry use realistic firearms in Dragon Ball before.
No, I know that, but I mean more as in like, I guess everything else in this like world looks so cartoony, and then suddenly they're just like, but we're just gonna make this look like an incredibly realistic looking sniper rifle. I'm like, I'm okay, sure.
You heard it here first, folks. Gabby thinks the Middle East looks cartoony.
Oh my god, no. Why do you tease me?
Oh, because that's where the chuckles come from in our comedy analysis podcast.
Oh, of course, the comedy analysis podcast. I forgot we were doing that as well.
But yeah, so like he deflects the bullet, like he ricochets it, like puts like a hole in like the guy's turban, but doesn't kill him, but kills the guy behind him. And the guy's like, oh fuck, and it's kind of a cool scene. I like it. It's dumb, but it worked. It worked for me. But then it's followed by
another scene.
A scene that doesn't work for. Yeah, it's followed by another scene of Tao goes back to his room, like with his fire-bending key, just like heats up his bath, and then like boils
boils an egg.
Boils an egg, and then like cracks it on his head or whatever, and then like eats a boiled egg, and I'm like,
what?
Okay, silly ass gag anime. That was kind of stupid even for you. Like, I'm calling bullshit at this moment.
It's like, earlier on, he's like, as he goes to leave, they're like, oh, do you want anything? He's like, oh, give me a raw egg. And so he's like, so he can just cook it himself, I guess, but it's like, okay, I think the issue is like, well, first of all, these are basically two scenes that kind of serve the exact same purpose. That is, Tao is powerful and also really quirky.
Yeah.
And they're back to back after another, so they kind of didn't need to be there because they serve the same information.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, there's just too many levels of like, what? And this is after all the pillar stuff and killing a dude with his tongue and all the other things that he does. So it just kind of goes to the point where just like, I don't even understand why we're watching this anymore. What are we doing?
Right. Like I feel like if it were just the one scene, just the scene of him doing the flip-flop and like deflecting the bullet, like just because other than that, you wouldn't have Tao in this episode at all. And I understand, like, you want to, like, if you're going to insert a filler scene, you want to remind people of Tao, that he is still this really threatening, scary motherfucker, and that he is still out there and a threat to Goku. And so I get it. It's fine. But yeah, when you follow it up with, like, the boiled egg thing, it's just like, okay, yeah, we get it. He's powerful and quirky. That's what the last scene established. And now you're just doing another one that is goofier and lamer, and it really isn't funny, and it didn't work for me at all. So yeah, that was like that's like my one bit of filler in this that really did not work for me.
And it doesn't help for me that this filler is just happening in the middle of a situation where I kind of just wanted to see what was going on. That was Goku actually meeting Korin and asking for the super water thing. And so it's like, oh, maybe it's here, but it isn't here, and I'm not going to give it to you. And then Goku's like, what? And then we just get filler. And I'm like, I want to know the answer. Stop showing me filler. I want to know the answer.
Okay, hold up. Because wait, did it go in? Oh yeah, it did go in that order where like he does like speak to Goku for a moment, I think. Yeah, because I get introduced.
I mean, this just isn't like just because looking at my notes, I'm writing this in chronological order, so that's what I'm assuming.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right then, because that's where he introduces himself as the Neko Senin, and because I do love what was it him being like, oh wow, it's really impressive, like a little guy like you got up here, just like you're smaller than I am, and Karin just shut up. But yeah, like I said though, I agree with you. The filler, like I don't mind its existence. I just wish it had been placed differently, and I wish it had only been just the bullet scene and not the boiled egg thing. Because, like I said, at that point you drag out the thing a little too long. It's repetitious. It's unneeded, and it's just like the boiled egg scene is just a worse version of the bullet deflecting with a flip flop scene.
And it's just like, I mean, basically watching this, because especially since I hadn't watched Dragon Ball, or at least like original Dragon Ball, for such a long time, and it made me remember what was just so infuriating about filler is that it just comes in the middle of sometimes something that you're more interested in. You know, you want to know how the plot is going to move forward, but instead of the plot moving forward, we cut away to something that we know isn't really important, and then we're just like, okay, great, you just broke the pace, and it's annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like I'm not going to argue that point with you. I definitely don't dislike it to the extent you do, but then again, also, you seem to have like a weird tolerance, like you're okay with scenes being horribly stretched out as long as you're not distracting from like the main point of it. Where me, I'm like, I'd rather, like, if I'm gonna get like filler, I'd rather just show me something different, and like I feel like I'm seeing something else.
I mean, there's something different, but it's like, even then, like, even here you could argue, I've seen this stuff before. Heck, I've seen this stuff before in the canon material when we had Tao Pai's introduction. He's been introduced. We don't need to see any of this. This is not
like
new.
I said, like, but the point I was making before is that at very least, Tao is like this is the one scene. Okay, two scenes. Like I said, it should have only been one because, like. Going an entire episode without seeing your primary antagonist and being reminded that he's still out there and a still legitimate threat, I do think is needed.
But, like, you could, like, even then, like, the beginning of the episode shows him getting his ass kicked anyway, so we already know that. The episode still reminds us
I mean, but
that.
that's like a recap.
And they could have just done, like, you know, a flashback of showing his, you know, I think, no, is this the time where it has the dream? Well, you know, they could have done it in so many different ways.
Right.
And obviously they can't because they need to stretch this show out, which is why it's so frustrating when I'm just like, I wish they didn't do this because I know they kind of had to do this, but I don't like it, and it's
Okay, so at the very least, that is the one really noticeable like filler sequence, and we move on to that though, and. Okay, so this is like I think this is the first time Toriyama's introduced this trope where a character's just like, here, let me get you caught up with exposition. And the other character goes, nah, I'm good. I read your mind. I already know what's going on.
Wait, oh yeah, right, no, you're right. That has actually happened before. I mean, I remember that Goku reads Krillin's mind on Namek, just kind of...
Yeah, because...
Wait, no, wait. Oh yeah, no, never mind. I'm like, didn't they do that thing with Nam, and then Roshi reads his mind there, and then he finds out his tragic backstory through that?
Oh, you are correct. Okay, so this isn't the first time.
Hey. I win! What do I win?
Okay, you won me not getting corrected in the comments when this episode airs. Thank you.
Fair enough.
Because I completely forgot about that. Hey, see, you guys can't correct me because she corrected me. Ha!
This is my purpose in life.
Yeah, I like Toriyama really does just love not exposition and just, yeah, no, fuck it, I can read your mind, whatever. And at this point in the series, it's still okay because, old wise masters of Chinese mythology, yes, you can read minds.
Definitely,
with your hundreds of years of wisdom. I'm fine with it. And then, so... Karin explains, like, oh yeah, no, like, go ahead. You want this super MacGuffin water, go ahead and take it. But then Karin keeps fucking with Goku, and he goes, "Oh no, I said like, you can have it, but you have to get past me to get it."
Yeah.
And so Karin is basically playing a big ass game of keep away with Goku to keep him away from the water to make him earn the water. Which, by the way, like the music that they play, I don't know musical pieces in Dragon Ball, so I can't specify which one it is, but the music that they're playing during this, like where he like this what is presented as a fun little keep away game that Karin is playing with Goku, is given like really epic, like pulse pounding music in the backdrop, and I'm like, this music really isn't fitting. Like, I feel like this should be having like a slightly goofier tinge to like, oh yeah, Goku's like running around trying to get this water from this little cat bastard, and instead it's just like this really pounding, like just epic music for this, and I'm like, this is not the this is not the music that should be going to this visual, I feel.
I mean, I think it could sort of work if you sort of treated that it's like, basically, Goku is essentially getting this big training sequence from this wise old master, and it's Goku trying to get stronger. And I guess, the reason for it is also important. Goku has a, legitimate reason to want to try and get it. So I can sort of understand it. But I've got to say, though, I really enjoyed this stuff with Karin. I think the reason why I found it quite refreshing is you actually just get to see Goku get irritated, which is a kind of thing that you never really see Goku ever really experience. Sometimes you see Goku happy. Sometimes you might see him sad occasionally, or just happy-go-lucky. You don't really see him just get annoyed at people because he wants something and then they're not giving to him the way that he wants it. It's very like it's it's nice when you find out that Goku has personality traits, and has experiences different emotions other than just like, hey, I'm Goku, I'm gonna be strong and save you and save these Dragon Balls and whatever.
Man, I totally agree, because like you said, you don't get to see Goku very annoyed very often, where he's just completely out of his depths, and it's not because, oh no, this villain is really strong and it's a super serious moment. No, it's like this little OP cat. He just can't catch the little son of a bitch, and he has something that Goku wants, and he just won't fucking give it to Goku, and Goku's just like, what is your fucking deal, cat? Give me the water. Because Goku at this point in the story does not know that he is being secretly trained.
Of course.
And
well, I mean, up to the point where he basically says, hey, your challenge is to get past me. At the very least, I feel like the audience understands, even if it's not inherently a training sequence. It's kind of like a, Goku is going to learn something from being able to get this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like this little obstacle that he has to overcome. And
yeah.
So here's like a little interesting thing, because I was going along in the manga while watching episodes, as I usually do, and something I had noticed is they really shuffle the order of scenes with a lot of this Karin stuff, where very specifically, like right after this, and like, Goku is just running around trying to get the water, and Goku tuckers out. You have the whole scene of like, oh, like, you're like, you're not reading my movements, you're reacting to them, blah, blah, blah. Which the anime actually has a scene that follows up on that statement, and the manga doesn't, interestingly enough. But like in the manga, he then goes on to be like, here, have a senzu, and he explains what senzu is. Here, though, he starts explaining to him like, oh, like, you're there's only been one other person to get this water. It's like, oh, who was it? It's just like your former master, the Kami Sennin. And he's just like, what? It's just like, my master was the only person?
It's a good cliffhanger.
It is.
Because it's a good cliffhanger.
Oh yeah, it's a much better cliffhanger than here, have a magic bean.
That's probably why they did it, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like when I first saw that, I was flipping through it, I'm like, I wonder why they're doing this instead. I'm like, because I paused the episode and I flipped ahead. I was just like, okay, like this is the part where they do the Kami Sennin reveal. That's weird. And I flipped back and I continued the episode, and then I realized that was the big moment that they end on, because it's like, whoa, Kami Sennin got the water. It's like, how long did it take him? 3. 3 days? No, son. 3 years. Lightning cracks.
Bum, bum, bum.
And then narrator, oh shit, If it took Kami Sennin 3 years, does Goku even stand a chance of getting it in 3 days? How could he get this? Find out next time on Dragon Ball.
Find out in the next episode. Dun. Exactly.
And on episode. And yeah, no, it's a good cliffhanger. It works. It's one of those, like, reshuffling things for the sake of having a structured episode that worked really well. Move on to the next episode, and Goku is now using the Zanzoken, the after image technique, and that still isn't doing anything. And then Goku gets tuckered out, and Korin then gives him a Senzu. It's just like, and it's our introduction to the Senzu, a thing that will be playing a very different purpose in the series much later on. Because right now, it's just oh yeah, have this magic bean.
I don't really know.
It'll fill you for 10 whole days.
I don't really know why it's a thing. I guess just so, maybe just to understand how does he eat up there? Where do you get your food from? If you're in the middle of the air, what do you do? Cook birds? But it's really high up. Birds don't fly there, probably. I mean, I guess it's to answer that question, but it's quite funny that this ends up being repurposed to be a quite useful plot device throughout the rest of the franchise.
Yeah, no, it really is. It's just like this.
Also, another funny thing. Also, another interesting thing I saw is that the other thing that Korin, at this point, Korin just kind of casually mentions that he hasn't eaten in like 5 years, which I assume is like one of those kinds of like Sennin sort of sagely things where it's like, I've ascended beyond mortal stuff and I don't need to eat very often.
Yeah, and I don't think that's in the manga. I'm flipping through again.
I don't think it is, no.
Yeah, no, that is a thing that the anime added. And, okay, so, like, the anime, honestly, I feel like when it comes to Korin, they added a lot of neat little details here and there. Like, you have like the 3 pots of mystical water that show the past, present, and future. And it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, like he has like these tubs of magical water. Okay, he's like some sort of mystical sage. Oh yeah, like he hasn't eaten in several years because he just doesn't fucking need to. And he doesn't even eat like one of his magic beans. He like fries himself up a fish. It's like, and he just eats that, and then apparently he's just good for years. And then there's also like the little scene where like it's such a like little blink and you'll miss it moment, and I really dug it. But when he goes to like put his dishes up, he like puts them in a cabinet with a waterfall in
it was
them.
What was that? That really confused me when I was watching it.
Say what?
What was that? That really confused me when I was watching it. Like, where's the water coming from? They're in the air. Where does it start?
It's magic, Gabby. You were in this mystical world where shit doesn't make sense because Korin.
Okay, whatever, fine. The cat defies all logic. It's just annoying, I think, because they drag out this part of the story. They kind of are trying to make it feel like, this random magical thing in above the clouds in the sky is a real location that you could actually live and eat and survive in, but like it's through magic or something. And also we're never really going to mention any of this ever again, and also it doesn't really mean anything. So it's just like, I'm just always like, okay, so now there's just a waterfall.
Well, I mean, it's not okay. Okay. Now I'm about to argue this one hardcore on you, because it is not like this, like the scene. It's not like the scene comes to a screeching halt to be like, here, let me put my dishes in my magic waterfall cabinet. Like literally, it is like a background detail while dialogue is still going on. Like he's talking to Goku about stuff, and he just
like, why does he need to get a fish? Like, why do we need a... I guess it's filler scene, but it's just like, okay, I haven't eaten for 5 years. Maybe I should have something to eat. I'm going to get a fish, and then I'm going to eat the fish, and I'm going to give you a senzu, specifically, and not a fish, and then I'm going to eat my food, and then I'm going to clean it with this magical waterfall basin that I have. And it's like... It's fine. It's just lots of... The more you keep adding more things, the more questions I keep asking, especially because, like, since there's nothing else to really talk about, all I can talk about is where is that water coming from?
Okay, Gabby?
Yeah?
For someone who likes magical girl anime, you have no sense of fun and whimsy. Just throwing that out there.
That is not true. I have sense of fun and whimsy when the genre actually is consistent with it. When it's like really grounded in reality in some points.
Like when Trunks pulled out like a spirit sword out of nowhere and it had never really been established, but you're okay with it because magical girl logic.
That's a guilty pleasure, okay? Anyway, it's like it's just that I think it's just that normally when the manga doesn't necessarily go around and start dwelling on minor details about this stuff because it knows that's not really important. It might have a few things that are just there to be quirky, but like,
well, it's not like the waterfall cabinet is not dwelling on it. It's literally he's like talking to Goku about.
No, I'm not saying that. Well, I mean more just like that we spend an entire scene about him like going to have food. That's kind of sort of dwelling on, not really dwelling on anything because there's not really a point to it, but like. We're just spending time in this world and you're just adding elements to the world, but it's like, because we're not really going to talk about this ever again, so it's just constantly making me question, like, okay, so what's this thing? And what's this thing? I wonder why this thing is a thing. It's like there's nothing else to talk about, so all I can talk about is the waterfall gauntlet.
Never watch Miyazaki films. You'll pull your fucking hair out.
No, I won't, because it's a different mindset, because,
Oh, okay.
What? No, listen, I'm not pulling any of this stuff out of my ass. It is a different mindset you have because, when in Dragon Ball, you have a story and then the story is quite straightforward and you're not necessarily having detours to go around and randomly explain a bit of world building oftentimes. Like that's an anime thing. The manga thing.
But it's not just explaining world building. It literally doesn't explain to it. In fact, that's what you're bitching about, is the fact that they're not explaining this waterfall cabinet. And I'm like, no, like it's a cool little background detail.
Well, no, but it's like it's world building because it's not important. It's not necessary. And it's like taking up space that could be, used to do anything else, actually progressing this story, like between Goku trying to get the water from Korin. But, like, what are we even arguing about?
I am arguing in vehement defense of waterfall cabinets that clean your dishes is what's happening here. And you are being an unfun curmudgeon who's just like, well, what is the logic behind the cabinet?
Really?
And what is waterfall cabinet providing to the greater context and lore of the Dragon Ball universe?
It's not lore, it's narrative. There is a difference. It is narrative. What is the narrative right now is Goku needs to figure out how to get the water.
Mm-hmm. And
Korin washing his dishes does not really add anything to that.
But while he is doing that, he is having meaningful dialogue with Goku. He's not like, it's not like the dialogue is about magical waterfall cabinet. It is him telling Goku about like the senzu and stuff, and I forgot exactly what he even says during that scene, but he's having a dialogue with Goku about the water and not the waterfall cabinet, but just, and it's just like a little background details, like while he's talking to Goku, he just like, having this dialogue with him that is perfectly natural within the scene, he just happens to put his dishes into a cabinet that has a waterfall in it, and his dishes just keep cycling, because if you look, it's like, they go up, I think they go up and then they come back from the bottom and come back up again. And it just repeats and cycles.
Right. Yeah, that was why I was getting confused. Because, like, what even is that thing? And I was just like, what is in there? What is he doing?
Magic.
Now it makes sense, I guess, what exactly it is. It's magic. But, like, I guess it was just like, I was just fixating on this stupid random contraption that they added. Because it was making me annoyed because honestly I wasn't actually that irritated by it. It was just an example of
Zion
one thing
had to
that
go
just
and
kept
point it out,
happening.
and just my anti-whimsy rage just peaked and I had to explode.
Oh, come on. How am I the one who is like, oh no, it's just no fun allowed? But I'm normally fine with this. It's just filler. But when it's filler and it's just adding nothing, and I've got nothing else to pay attention to.
Gabby and her filler racism out here.
Oh, come on.
Her anti-filler agenda.
Yeah, everyone read the manga. I mean, is that so wrong? Is that so wrong to ask? everyone read the manga.
You see that? Like, you know, she doesn't respect the art of animation or the hard work of the writers or Kikuchi's beautiful score. Nope. Read the damn manga.
I think if you read, listen, I there's a lot of really cool stuff in the Dragon Ball anime, but it's too spread out. I'm sorry.
I can't wait till like we get to that little filler scene near the end of Z where Videl is Great Saiyaman number 2, and you think that's really great. I'm gonna be like, but Gabby, that's filler. What is this adding to the scene? Like, why are we stopping the entire show to show us the Great Saiyaman number 2? What does it matter to the narrative that Videl became a?
I mean, I guess because the story is over, so they kind of don't need to do anything anymore. Like, there is no narrative at that point because it's like after the show. And, like, there's no purpose to that episode, basically, at all anyway,
Man,
so...
I have a feeling that once we get to the solo training filler and the wedding dress filler...
Yeah, no, it's gonna be hard.
We're gonna have very starkly different opinions, where you're gonna trash on it, and I am gonna be, like, just vehemently defending it, like just pure zealotry on the behalf of the filler.
I don't know what it is. It's just like...
I'm like, it is whimsical and cool and neat world-building stuff.
But for me, I'm just like, it's alright, but everything is just a bit of a like, why is this happening now? And what are you trying to tell? What is this adding? Why are you... Like, what is this story? Is this even a story, or are you just, like, putting out random scenes in order and hoping that it leads to something?
Oh, man. When we get to... When we get to the recruitment art of Super, I'm looking forward to calling out a lot of what...
Which thing?
The recruitment arc?
Which thing?
Like the entirety of it. It's so much of jack shit's happening, and it's like 5 minutes of story progression, but we have to stretch it over 22 minutes, and Goku has to get like a little scene with each and every single character. Also, we need to dunk on Yamcha needlessly. Oh God,
Okay, that was stupid.
I really don't like the recruitment stuff.
Okay, what do we even?
It just drags ass.
This is okay. Like, should we get back to Dragon Ball?
I am talking about Dragon Ball.
Stop talking about us trying to. We'll get back to the actual episode, and stop trying to prove how each other have biases, which mean that we're invalid as Dragon Ball critics, and nobody should pay attention to us.
I mean, all criticism is invalid. Anyhow, going back to things and stuff, was it like, Karin goes and like, I forgot, like, oh yeah, like, was it like Goku takes a nap, and Karin takes a nap, and Goku wakes up, and, okay, this is like another like little weird filler scene, and this is one I like, you're probably gonna dislike, because I think it's like a weird quirky, like, thing that they've added to it that just makes Karin's realm feel just that also universe breaking, and that's when he literally when he opens up Karin's eye and there's this it's blue and there are fish swimming in it.
Yeah, I was like what?
Yeah, like, no. See, this is the shit I live for, where it's just like, oh my God, like he is in this world where just the laws of the universe no longer apply because he is in this realm where this like little cat hermit that's 800 years old lives, and it's just cool mystical bullshit that I completely eat up. I'm like, yes, more weird shit.
And here all I was just saying, are they actual fish, or is it just like a trick of the light? Like, are they living fish, or is it just he has a fish-shaped pupil, or what? I think this is definitely showing our different approaches to how we watch this show.
Definitely, yeah, it is.
I will actually say one little bit of. I mean, it's in the manga as well, and so I guess it's sort of, I think this might sort of explain sort of how I look at this a bit more. So there's, one of the bits of dialogue that is sort of there is that Goku mentioned that he's sort of out of breath, and Karin explains, oh, that's because it's high elevation, and, because then the air is really thin. And, like, yeah, I guess technically that is sort of extraneous dialogue, although it is also world building that was sort of like, okay, that makes sense. But then at the same time, also, it doesn't really come up ever again. Like, it's not necessarily like Goku is training because the air is thin here, so that makes him stronger when he goes down to land, kind of like gravity training. It's just like, it's a piece of dialogue that's there to sort of like being like, okay, you know, this sort of explains something. And I guess it also explains why Goku is basically not available to just go around and start chasing Korin all day and night because he's getting tired all the time, I guess. So it sort of serves the story and it sort of doesn't serve the story. And so, you know, this is sort of my internal brain logic when I'm watching things and trying to judge whether I like it or not, or what I think about things.
Okay, so this is one of those things that's actually hurt by the manga or the anime reshuffling stuff from the manga. Because in the anime, he says that scene at a different point, the whole altitude thing. And I think he says the altitude stuff while he's doing the dishes. Like when he's like, Goku's just like, he's like, oh yeah, like you said, that you're tuckered out. It's because of the altitude, blah, 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 blah. And he puts the dishes away. In the manga, that actually follows post a lot of other stuff and a lot of Goku trying to get the water and him getting tired. Korin explains that, but then follows that with climbing up and down the tower, or climbing up the tower has improved his lung conditioning. And then he chucks the ball off the thing so Goku could run back down and get it again to help improve his lung capacity even further for continued training.
Okay.
So it actually does serve
in the manga, it has a reason to be there, but in the anime, it's there because it's in the manga.
Yes, precisely.
Okay.
So yeah, that
explains a bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I sort of forgot to go read this side by the manga, so I don't necessarily have as much of a good memory of everything that happens.
Yeah, because I was like, wait, didn't that happen? Because while you were talking about it, let me flip through that, because I'm pretty sure and I'm like, yep, okay, that's how that went. So yeah, like it actually does serve a purpose in the manga. In the anime, like I said, it's there because it's in the manga, and the reshuffling of scenes kind of fucks that up a bit.
Right. But yeah, so what happens next? Is that the point where then that's the point that I guess then it sort of just means that Korin just decides to grab the 4-star ball and throw it out of the tower, kind of just because in the anime, like obviously it's part of his test, I guess, but like we don't really find that out until like after Goku starts going after it, so it just makes Korin look like a jerk, like kind of a big jerk until you find out what's going on. I mean, he looked like a jerk in the manga as well, but a bit more of a justified jerk.
And okay, so one of the things, this is a scene that it kind of surprised me when it happened in the episode, because it's been a while since I've seen this arc and since I've read this arc, and like the scene surprised me. It also surprised me that it's also in the manga, and that is when Goku like creeps up on Korin while he's sleeping, and Goku sees the water and goes, no, not while he's sleeping. And then Goku just walks away and goes to sleep. And then Karin's just like, oh wow, like, this kid's way more honest than the Kami-sen never was. And like it's showing that very pure, good-natured side of Goku that I feel like this, Goku, like I feel like it's a side of Goku that like you wouldn't see in modern Goku. Like if something like similar happened in Super, Goku would just...
Why does it always come back to Super?
Well, because Super is the modern, like how... Well, I mean, even late Z Dragon Ball, if you want to... if you don't want me pounding on Super, late Z Dragon Ball Goku. Like, I feel like later, later older iterations of Goku who's more fighting oriented and less selfless protagonist oriented, like that line just wouldn't exist.
I don't know about that. I think Goku, like that kind of Goku would still exist because it'd be sort of reframed a little bit. But I think that a situation like this would still happen because Goku would rather, steal it with his own power than just steal it by just, doing it, you're just happening to wake up while he's asleep and just sneaking by and stealing it from him. Like, I think Mon Goku would do that.
Well, thing is though, like, this isn't a matter of power. This is a matter of, like, trickery and skill. Like, you know, he's trying to, like, outmaneuver the other person, not outfight them, not outstrength them.
Yeah, and as in by doing that, it's more interesting. Like, if you're doing it while the opponent is asleep, it's basically like they didn't even really have a chance to react or really do anything. Like, there is, you know, it's like a kind of a passive sort of stealth way of doing it. It's like, okay. It's like when you have, like, an open world game and you have the option to, like, go in and, like, you know, overpower everybody by using your abilities in a fun way, or you just, like, sneak around the outside and stealth kill everyone.
Okay.
It's like that.
Okay. Do you think a modern iteration of Goku, or just late Z Goku, would not just use the instantaneous movement to snatch the water?
I mean, he probably would try, but then Korin would, like, in the context of this kind of story, he would probably try, and then Korin would basically say, oh, no, you can't teleport because I have this technique that stops you from doing it.
I mean, yes, but thing is, though,
in the same way that he tries the Zanzo Ken here, and Karin's like, well, no, I can counter the Zanzo Ken.
Yeah, and my thing is, though, that, like, Goku's using his speed and his techniques to his advantage, like more skill-based techniques, martial arts techniques. The instantaneous movement isn't a martial arts technique. It's not related really to any of his specific skills.
It kind of is.
It really isn't. It isn't. It's bullshit teleportation.
I mean,
it's like
learn.
It is the worst thing Toriyama gave to Goku's skill set. He had to go to a planet
and spend a year. He had to go off planet and spend an entire year learning that. If that's saying that doesn't
not raising his son.
Has that really got anything to do with anything? Listen, if anything...
No, I just want to take that cheap shot.
Oh, okay. But you know, like, in the context of... God, this is why these things go for over 2 hours every time. You know,
But this is what people come for, is when you and I have long distended arguments over just the most minute bullshit.
It's funny because I remembered that, like, Dragon Cast was, like, just totally chill all the time, and I forgot that they just spend half the time just arguing with each other over really stupid, unimportant stuff.
Hey, there was that one time where we spent, like, a ridiculous amount of time, like, just gushing over, like, the minute details of the dynamics of Bulma's relationship with her family.
That's true. Sometimes we are in agreement. It's just we're not always, especially when it gets to the point where Zeon's like, I like filler. And I'm like, I don't like filler. And you're like, but Gabby, you're a hypocrite. I'm like, no, I'm not. Because these reasons. Anyway, what I was trying to say was that in my opinion, I think that the idea is that Goku wants to win through, like, his own power, and just happening to being able to win by being awake at a different times when Karin is awake isn't really his own power. It wasn't really something he had to work to do. I mean, they could have made that be a thing that he sort of had work to do. Like, maybe he was struggling to stay awake past Karin's time. You know, they could have done that. That would have worked. And at that point, it would be like, okay, that's not really trickery. That's him trying. But basically, they just have a Goku just kind of randomly wakes up. And he's like, hey, Karin's still asleep. That's not a satisfying way to win, essentially.
Right. I mean, like, it's not narratively satisfying. But, I mean, Goku doesn't realize he's being trained in this moment. He just knows that this asshole cat is playing keep away with some magic water that he needs to defeat a guy.
I mean, I think he's basically made this like an ultimatum that you have to get past me to get the water. So, like, clearly he knows.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, like, if he creeps up on him, though, like, that's, you know, that doesn't necessarily, I don't know. I forgot even what the hell my point was here. Just, oh yeah, right, the fact that, like, this Goku comes off more honorable. That this Goku comes off as more honorable than I think an adult Goku does. Like, this scene doesn't... I feel like it's the type of scene that Toriyama would have not have written in later Dragon Ball, nor in the modern iterations of Dragon Ball, or even something that... I don't know, maybe Toei would have written it. Because Toei likes to... I don't know, does Toei like to treat Goku more virtuous these days? It depends on who's writing him, I guess.
I mean, GT they certainly did.
Oh yeah, no, he's Superman Goku out the ass.
Anyway.
And don't worry, I'll criticize that too.
Okay. Yes, I I mean, no, wait, Xeon, you're a hypocrite because you're criticizing GT, but you like GT, so that means that you're invalid. You are invalid.
What the hell were we talking about? All right, Goku's more honest than the Kami Sennin.
I don't know. I've got to admit, out of us, like getting like sidetracked, I think this is probably the weirdest one so far.
Oh no, there was that time we got sidetracked about like monkey titties. That was a thing that happened.
I mean, I was thinking about that, but okay. Anyway, next part of the story, what happens? That oh yeah,
it's good that we can remember all the deep lore of our own podcast.
I mean, I can't remember all the deep lore. I just remember monkey titties, and I have a counter every time Goku shows his dick.
There you go. And every time we mention a certain someone who I'm not mentioning at the moment because we're not going to put a number on that counter just yet.
Anyway.
So screw you, person who has a counter.
So the next day, anyway. So, okay, I guess... Actually, no, this one's alright.
Okay, no. Like, okay. Actually, I was going to say, we had another filler scene.
Yes.
I'm surprised you're going to skip over because it's one I didn't like.
Wait, which scene is this?
Tao Pai Pai realizing that the 4-star ball is what blocked his Donanpa.
That was in this episode?
Yeah.
I didn't write it, so clearly I just didn't even think it was worth mentioning.
Well, yeah, like, it bothers me because it's like this weird realization that he has. Like this is like day 2 of 3, and it's like, wait, he's just now putting this together? Like, I feel like this is a scene that should have happened, like, immediate. Like, if you're gonna add this scene, that should have been like, fuck, that kid probably had the ball in his shirt, that's why it probably blocked the Donanpa, which is why he's alive, and that's why there's a Dragon Ball that I missed. Like, him having this realization this late afterwards makes Tao look like a fucking dumbass.
Yeah, I can agree there.
And it just bugged the shit out of me. It's like, really, bro? Really? Like, it took you this goddamn long to figure out? God, no, it's just one of those things where it's just like, it's an unnecessary filler scene, which, I mean, you'd argue that all filler is unnecessary, whatever, blah. But, I will say this one in particular pissed me off because it makes the character worse. It makes them dumber than they actually are in the show, or in the manga, and that just bugs the shit out of me. Bad on you, Toei, for adding that scene. You probably thought that you were trying to do some sort of cool, meaningful moment of, like, Tao looking like a smart guy, and instead you made him look fucking stupid. So yeah. So this leads into Goku, another filler scene, but this is one that I really like, because it's actually paying off something that's in the manga, where Goku is just like, oh, well, you're not studying my movements, you're just reacting to them. And so Goku just watches Karin sleep and just copies everything Karin does, and, like, copies all of his movements, which really doesn't make sense as a thing.
No.
But, like, in silly martial arts gag manga sense, it's like, yes, he's learning all of these, like, his movements, and he's studying Karin and how he moves and what he does, as a way to, like, study how Karin moves in general. And somehow he applies that to outmaneuvering Karin and then tickling him to get him to drop the water and catching the water.
I was just gonna say, actually, I mean, like, I kind of have a thing to talk about this whole thing, because basically looking about this was sort of making me realize sort of what I sort of like to see from training sequences, and also I think why sometimes Dragon Ball doesn't do this necessarily in the training sequence. So for me, it's like, you know, if you're going to do a training sequence, I think the most interesting, the most satisfying way of doing a training sequence is, okay, you know, the protagonist shows up, you know, they see something that they need to do, and they try to do the sort of straightforward, they try to sort of just do that, and it doesn't work. And they're trying, it doesn't work. And then eventually they're sort of realizing that oftentimes, like, what I think the most interesting time is sometimes they'll have, like, see something really sort of maybe mundane in everyday life, and they'll sort of apply that to the situation that they are going through, and they realize, hey, if I approach this from a different angle, then maybe it'll work. And then they approach it from a different angle, And then, surprise, surprise, they managed to learn something new. I think that's the kind of training sequence I think I really like seeing in this kind of story. The one that I can think of right now is Naruto learning the Rasengan, which kind of has this in sort of multiple layers, I think. Which I think, I remember I enjoyed that. And I realized the Dragon Ball training sequences kind of doesn't really do this much at all.
No, not
There's
at all.
not really many challenges that you have to overcome. Or if there are challenges that you have to overcome, like in this case with Goku learning how to outsmart Korin, like, he's not really learning anything specific to outsmart Korin. Like, maybe he's sort of reading his movements, I guess, by watching him a lot, but, like, you never really get this spelled out in a specific way. You don't really see a progression to that. And also, it has kind of absolutely nothing to do with him being able to totally beat Tao Pai Pai. So, it's, this is a thing in the anime and in the manga as well. Obviously, this is how Toriyama likes doing things. Also, because I think Toriyama doesn't like Goku basically not looking hyper competent in every situation. Like, he'll struggle for like one chapter, and then the next chapter he'll immediately start blowing away everybody's minds. So, I don't know. It's not this is why it's bad. It's more like this is what I like about training sequences, and it's kind of, I get kind of disappointed when Dragon Ball doesn't do it like this. When also they could do it like this, and they choose not to.
Right, yeah, it's just not how Toriyama likes to do his training I feel like just Toriyama's training sequences, like, they're entertaining and they're fun and they're neat, but yeah, like, they're definitely not as creative as, like, how like Naruto would do them, as you were pointing out. Like, the Rasengan's a really good example where Naruto is applying things that he's learned earlier in the series to learn new techniques. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. Also, like, another cool one I thought was, I think it was like when he learned the Sage mode and he, like, divides himself and then, like, recompiles himself to, like...
Oh, that was the Rasen Shuriken. Sage mode was sort of like... Actually, no. Sage mode was kind of a bit disappointing, I think, because, like, they sort of had, like, okay, this is how you learn Sage mode, but I think there wasn't really what reason as to how Naruto manages to get better at it. It's just, like, he just practices until he figures it out, I think. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's what happened. Anyway, this is not the Naruto podcast. We could do this another time.
Yeah, no, it is not. And there will never be a Naruto podcast from us, goddammit.
Who knows? I managed to get you to watch Pretty Cure. I could get you to do anything.
I mean, I've read Naruto before, and also, like, I already love magical girl anime. Like, I'm not even like that in the shonen.
I'm just being a joke. Just being a joke. Stop being so mean to me.
I'm not being mean to you. So I realized, like, because, like, yeah, this, like, my notes are like, oh yeah, like, yeah, this is where he gets the water. I'm like, wait, I didn't even, like, take a note for when Korin, like, chucks the Dragon Ball off the tower. So I don't even know when the hell that happened.
Yeah, that's the thing that happens in the previous episode, and then he gets it, he just jumps out of the tower, and he grabs it, and he climbs up again, and that's part of his training, I guess. It's not a very concrete training thing. It's don't really understand how it helps him beat Tao. I guess just dexterity. He increases dexterity from all that climbing.
No, it would have had to have been in this episode because...
Yeah, it's in this episode. No, it's in this episode. Oh, okay. It's in the beginning, earlier part of the episode. Okay, I thought it was last
episode, and I'm, like, looking at it. I'm like, wait, what? Okay, cool. I was like, it had to have been somewhere in this episode, but for some reason, I just didn't take a fucking note on that whatsoever. Blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, looking at where the hell... Oh, right, so yeah, Goku finally gets the water. He drinks the water. Nothing happens. Nothing. And he's just like, what the hell? He goes, yeah, no, it's just regular water. Like, the training is the friends you made along the way. I mean, climbing up and down this tower and trying to get the water was the training.
Which is like, okay... Yeah, okay, it's good. I just, like I said, this could have been totally way better if I could understand how walking up and down a tower is like, maybe, like, there was actually a struggle in the middle of the tower or something that he had to learn while climbing the tower, but it's just like he went up and down the tower and we're just, like, informing you that that's what happened. It's not really an adventure there. I mean, chasing after him. He chases after him. We don't really know what exactly he learns. I guess he kind of learns to read his moves, I guess. But we don't really see that.
Supposedly, that's a thing that they say, but
yeah,
it's like,
it's fine. I don't want to be too harsh on this. Like, it's fine. It's just...
Yeah, no.
It's just like, it could have been so good if they just done a little bit more with it.
I feel like this is just traditional Dragon Ball training. It's just like, what does this train you? Well, it made you stronger. Like, you climbed the tower, you got physically stronger, it increased your lung capacity, you can run faster, you can move, like, you can move faster and punch harder, and because this is Dragon Ball. Characters, like, we are already getting into the point in Dragon Ball where the person who punches the hardest is going to win. And the clever creative elements that made the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai fight so engaging are starting to die out.
I mean, I'd argue that this has always had clever creative elements. Like, I remember back when we were talking about the 21st Budokai training, and I was saying I was disappointed because there's no real understanding as to how exactly they figure out how to manage this harsh training. They just kind of get better at it off screen, and it's kind of disappointing. So I think I always have this issue. I'm just like, I wish they did more. They never do as much as I want. I am watching the right show. I swear, I am watching the show that I like. It's just, I like things from this show. I just wish they did more with their training sequences.
I mean, I do agree with that. Like, I wish we could have seen more of it, but at the same time, you know, with the case of the Turtle Hermit training, that is, like, they were just going to do the same things over and over and over again, and it was just a matter of getting stronger, getting faster, getting more agile. You're going to just naturally get better at the thing that you're doing the more you're doing it. So I feel like it's really weird. Like I honestly,
I guess it's just not as relatable, you could say. Like, if you can't understand, like, I mean, you can sort of understand what they're doing, but like, you know, like, for example, like, you know, when you are training in something, like, say you're learning a new sport or a new game or something, like, every day in practice is not something that you can just kind of, you know, forget about, and what happens in those days of practice doesn't matter. No, you know, you have experiences as you're learning, and those experiences are what shape you and what help you understand things. But by kind of skipping all of that part, by saying, oh, nothing there is important, well, you miss out on that kind of sense of relatability, that sense of, oh, I understand how you're getting better at this, because, say, for example, that day, you realize that the crocodile isn't going to go to this part of the water, so you can just go swim over there, or, you know, something like that.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Like I said, like, I am perfectly fine with how they, I mean, I'm perfectly fine with the way that the hermit training went. This one, though, I do think it could have been a little bit more interesting. I still do like the bait and switch of, aha, like, you know, there was no magic water. Like, you made yourself stronger by doing all of this shit. It's a very Dragon Ball thing.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice. I like that. I wish they did more with it, but I like that.
And my thing, though, is that, like I was saying before, that this does feel like the first nail in the coffin of, like, creativity in combat strategies is going to go away.
Like I said, I don't think it was ever like some kind of paragon of more creativity that it lost. I think it's always been a bit shallow in this regard. It's just more obvious now.
I don't know. I feel like the Muten Roshi fight really argues against that.
That one was alright. I mean, but God, now I can't even remember. I can't even remember half the stuff that happened in it. Anyway, should we start getting more on topic? I don't know.
I mean, I feel like us being off topic is how we're on topic. I feel like that is the brand of this podcast. And then we derail to talk about some other Dragon Ball related thing that is not the episode that we're talking about.
And then we go around and start talking about, like, our own, like, internal logic and, like, our psychological backgrounds, and we start getting really meta and start talking about the state of Dragon Cast itself.
Yeah.
So, anyway, in the meantime, what about that part where Tao just murders a tailor?
Oh my god! Yes! Yes. That is, like, one of my favorite scenes in this entire set of episodes that we watched, where, like, Tao, he gets his new outfit, he's just like, awesome, it's perfect, and the guy's just like, are you gonna pay me, sir? And he goes, oh shit, I'll kill a motherfucker for you. It's what I do. Like, this is a really good deal. Like, I charge so goddamn much to kill people. Who do you want me to kill? And the guy's like, oh no, I don't want anybody killed. He goes, well, fuck it then. You get to die. And he just shoves his finger into the guy's forehead, kills him dead for really no reason. But then...
For no reason. Like, Tao was being a massive asshole. Like, okay, he's an assassin, but now he's an asshole assassin, and that means he needs to go down.
Yeah, like, this is honestly, like, if you want to say something that he does is out of character, I feel like this is an out of character moment where it's just like, this is way more ruthless and dickish.
Oh yeah, it's weird. It's very weird.
But...
that being said, like, the fact that he does, like, a badass one-liner as he leaves...
Yes, I was about to say. Like, he ends it with, keep the change. And I'm like, oh! And
that's so hardcore. And
it's such a great thing. And that's the note they end this episode on. It's a really good, strong ending to an episode. And I loved it. It's great. And then the next episode starts with a thing I don't like. Because, man, I really don't like filler in this arc where it cuts to Commander Red.
Oh yeah, no, none of it's interesting at all.
Because, he's just like, oh, like, give me a cigar. Oh yeah, because he puts like his fingers up in a V formation, and he's just like, rock. He just kind of scowls at him. Oh, paper. Actually, now that I'm saying it out loud, it actually is kind of a cute scene. It's just, I had so many of these shitty...
It's funny, but it's got, like, nothing to do with anything.
It has nothing to do. It has something it offers... Actually, it doesn't... That's not true. I'm going to get into that in just a second. But, I just realized I actually don't hate the scene because I hate all the other Commander Red scenes, so I was just going to bitch about this one, but now that I'm saying it out loud, I am changing my mind mid-sentence on this scene. Because...
But Dion, are you telling me that you're changing your predetermined opinion? Doesn't that mean that you're a hypocrite?
Yes, because I'm human. Now going back to what I was saying.
God forbid, we're human. What?
What? No. I need my critics to be infallible and continuously internally consistent.
Anyway, why do you like this scene?
No character growth ever. Anyhow. One, yeah, I do like the cuteness of just him putting, like, his fingers up for a cigar and him being like, rock. And he just gets scowled at, oh, paper? He goes, I want a cigar, goddammit. He's just like, oh, okay, sir. And he goes, and Red follows it up with just like, it's like your body might be large, but, you got a real small brain. And you see the seething anger.
Oh yeah.
In black, and that's like the
say,
first scene. Like that's like the first scene where you really get that. And
that's like the only scene that we get that.
Yeah, because I feel like in the manga, it's just what you want to fucking use the Dragon Balls to be taller, cap them in the head, and that's it. Like there really isn't a lot of build up to it. Here, this is like the first scene where, like, yeah. Black gets treated like shit, and it actually does, like, being spoken down to actually does upset him. And, like, he gets angry and he clenches his fist, and Red notices for, like, a second, and he, like, kind of relaxes himself, because he doesn't want to upset Commander Red, but he, like, you see, like, just that, this motherfucker shows me no goddamn respect, and he could really go fuck himself right now. And that is going to play into it later. And so, yeah, like, that is actually... This is, like, one of the few... Like, this is the only Commander Red filler scene, besides, like, the little teasing scenes that we get early on where I'm like, I really like this one. Because, like, it starts on a cute joke, and then it ends on, like, a little bit of hint of character from... Who's supposed to be,
it tells us information. It actually tells us information. And like, Zeon, I think the reason why this is the first time this happened is because this is probably the first time that the manga happened. The manga, like, got to the point where Black betrayed Red, so they knew that was going to happen, so they could actually foreshadow it.
Actually, that doesn't hold up, just because Black, because like two episodes prior, the Goku, opened up the water and it hinted towards Baba. So they would have had to have at least been there.
Yeah, no, I know that, but isn't like, when's the last time that they've had a red and black scene?
I mean, the episode right before we started watching, or like before this block of episodes. Yeah, because there wasn't a red and black scene. Last episode and the one before it.
I mean, like, yeah, like I don't like, I cannot be bothered working out the timeline of this right now, but it's just like, I mean, if it was like, if there were like points where they could have done, then started putting foreshadowing and then they didn't, well, that was stupid. You should have done that earlier because then they would be more satisfying.
Right.
But whatever. What can we do?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we get that little scene, and we get Tao. Tao is back, and we actually get like a little bit of filler, where it's like Tao like getting ready and like, you know, chucking like the pillar, and Goku coming down the thing, and Upa just doing Upa shit, and like everybody's out convening in this one point, and Tao gets there first, and there's a great little moment. It's a filler. It's a great little filler moment where Upa like chucks an axe at him and at Tao, and it misses. And then right after that, Upa like he gets scared for a moment and then just charges Tao, and I'm like, yeah, get him, Upa, even though it doesn't do jack shit. He just kicks his leg out from under him and grabs him by the neck.
Oh, of course, it's great. I mean, it is very great seeing the character who cannot do anything being like, no, screw it, I'm gonna try and actually, you know, stop the bad things from happening, even though I don't think I can do anything. It's very nice, because we relate to the guys who can do nothing.
Yeah, and he's just being proactive in this moment. It's a good little scene, and yeah, I liked it. Like it's like literally just like a little 2-second thing of him just being proactive and running at Tao, because the axe throw was there, and then Tao just dodges it, kicks his leg out from under him. But I feel like just that little extra bit of him just running and charging at Tao just adds a little extra flavor to Upa's character. I go, yeah, Upa, you avenge your dead daddy, you sad little kid who can't actually be effective whatsoever. So yeah, it's like the one of the few times I actually liked Upa in this show, because fuck, Upa's lame, and I don't like him in general.
Oh yeah, no, he's very boring. He is very boring.
Mm-hmm. Like he's like a shittier Poir. I don't like him.
He's a little bit better than Poir, I'd say, but yeah.
I mean, wait, you think he's better than Poir, really?
Yeah, because Poir, like, he actually has sort of a motivation and, you know, actual like pathos. What does Poir have?
He ribs on Oolong.
Once.
I feel like he ribs on him more than once. And like, you know, he's moral support for Yamcha.
I guess.
And he turns into like things.
I guess. I mean, this is definitely not the hill that I'm going to die on, but
oh yeah, no, like, I mean, me neither. I mean, I think they're both terrible characters. Like this scale of terrible Dragon Ball characters. It's like Upa, Poir, and like Chaozu and Gine all kind of sit in this nebulous bottom tier of characters I just hate, and which would just not exist in Dragon Ball. What was I talking about? Oh, right.
Upa
Goku. Oh, man.
Things. Right, Goku. Yes.
So Goku shows up, and Goku, I think like this is the first time he's ever done this, but like he gets his big damn hero entrance where he shows up just at the last second to save somebody.
Goku's first like big dramatic last minute entrances, which like ends up becoming like such a big cliche, but also like I think I kind of love it basically every time it happens.
Yeah, I can't hate it. Like I feel like on principle I should hate this, but I don't. Like the only time I ever really hated it is when they did it twice in the Frieza arc. Cause it's just like, really, we're doing the big, it's like Goku gets his big damn hero moment and then you took him out of the story just so he could get his big damn hero moment again. And it's like the exact same big damn hero moment. And I hated that.
Yeah, in that case, yeah, once again, it's not telling us anything new, essentially. But oh god, yeah, no, like it's fun. I think in terms of this one's probably not as dramatic, but also it's the first one, and this is like, this is before like Piccolo Daimao, where they like make Goku's entrance like a big splash panel, big freeze frame of like Goku looking badass. So this is like proto, like, hey, I think we might have stumbled onto kind of a cool plot idea here.
Yeah, it's like someone like Toriyama did that. It's like, oh yeah, like that was really cool, but like let's do that again. But we're just gonna give Goku a splash page, and he's gonna strike a really cool pose, and then he's gonna kick that monster's eye out of its socket. Oh man, I can't wait till we get to the Piccolo arc.
I'm sorry though, like the Goku showing up pissed off, like splash page. It's the best. Anyway, but yeah, so Goku shows up and he's like, hey, I'm back and I'm stronger now and I'm totally gonna beat him. And then Tao is like, well, oh god, okay, in terms talking about cliches that then start showing up, Tao does the I'm going to end your life in 3 seconds and holds up 3 fingers, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, no, he does that. But like I was really confused because like Goku's like, kicks him like really hard, like knocks his ass away, and he's just like, oh, it's been way more than 3 seconds, and I'm like, but a whole episode hasn't gone by yet. How could it be only 3 seconds? Come on, Dragon Ball. How about a little internal consistency?
It's funny because I realized, well, Zeon, hey, Mr. Hale Zeon, you're gonna have to call out GT for that too, because it did that with the ice dragon.
No, perfectly infallible. I know what you're talking about. That show is.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm gonna stop now. Anyway, but yeah, no, it's just kind of funny when you like seeing these cliches. It's like Toriyama's putting in these cliches, but the way that he's presenting it, it's kind of like he's not really making them such a big dramatic deal. It's just kind of like just a little thing to kind of pass the time.
Yeah.
And then later on, he's gonna start making these big dramatic deals.
Yeah, it's really weird that because as we just pointed out, like we got 2 cliches, 2 tropes back to back that are going to come back in Dragon Ball and be like, one is going to be used quite frequently, and the other one will become one of the more iconic moments, like, in Dragon Ball in general. So, yeah.
I mean, the other one also becomes an iconic moment, just for the wrong reasons.
True. So, yeah, like, well, I mean, the one I'm talking about, like, the one that becomes an iconic moment is, like, the 5 minutes thing is what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. I'd say, Goku showing up is iconic.
Yeah, but it's just like Goku does it so frequently. If it's not
iconic yet, it should be. You guys need to make it iconic, because I said so.
But yeah, so Goku now is, like, just... He has a complete upper hand. His training's paid off for him.
He's stronger because reasons and training... And running around helped him.
That's how Dragon Ball training works. And so yeah, Goku and Tao, they duke it out. And so one of the things I noticed, like a little change between the anime and the manga, was Goku, I think like Tao kicks Goku into like the tower, and Goku spins and rebounds off the tower.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
And like
I like
comes
that,
at Tao, but like Tao dodges and he misses, and he like smashes into a tree that splits in 2. Where in the manga he actually connects with Tao. So that was a little that was a little
that's interesting.
Yeah, a little bit of a change there. I just thought it was because I actually kind of think I like the anime version a little bit more because it added a little bit more flavor to the fight of like Goku isn't just going to be able to like power straight through this. Tao still is, a legitimate fighter, and Goku just got a little bit of a comedy mode where he just goes face first into a tree that he splits in 2.
Except, like, the reality is that it's not a challenge for Goku at all.
Oh, yeah, no, it isn't. But it is cool to show that, it's not going to be the super easy breezy fight he's expecting. It still kind of gives you this moment of doubt that, like, oh man, maybe Tao can hold his own. Because I think Tao that when Tao kicks him into pole. Let me look. As I now bring podcast to a halt to flip through a manga.
Oh no.
Ah, damn.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Do.
Hey everyone, you're thinking that you ever just sit around and be like, man, I'm really, I need a drink of water. Well, you can come buy this instant water dispense. Oh god. Okay.
No, you're really bad at improv. I am learning in real time.
I am really bad at improv. God damn it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Tao punches knocks Goku into and he rebounds off and then punches Tao back. So yeah, like, Tao gets a good clean hit on him, knocks him back, and then in the anime version, give you that little bit of momentary doubt that like, oh man, maybe Tao might have a bit of an upper hand on him. You're like, oh no, because it's still early in the fight and you don't quite know just how much stronger Goku is than Tao, and maybe Tao could like outfight him or outmaneuver him. And then, oh my god, okay, Gabby, this is where we can all agree that that filler isn't always defensible. Oh my god.
What do you mean? Don't you like seeing Bulma's boobs?
I'm not 14
she has cleavage,
anymore.
Zeon. She's a girl and she has cleavage.
I'm not 14 anymore, and it's just terrible and bad, and I hate it. Like, I don't even hate it because it's fan service or Roshi's being a pervert. I'm fine with that. Like, it's just, fuck all, this is boring, and it doesn't lead to anything. I made a Sun-kun surveillance device.
And it happens in the middle of the fight. Wait, no, I think that's actually plot relevant though, because later on in the manga, there's like this point where there's like a robot or something, and Goku passes by it, and then that's how Bulma knows where he is.
Okay, my official headcanon is that that surveillance device gets damaged at some point in this arc, and then Dr. Gero finds it and then builds his own Goku surveillance devices to keep track of him.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay, let's do it.
But yeah, so like she builds like a Goku surveillance device, and she's like, also, I'm gonna make another Dragon Radar, or I'm working on one. And the Muten Roshi's just like, he, you got titties, and then he gets hit in the face for it. Thanks, Dragon Ball.
And okay, and then it starts. Then I have two questions. One, why is Bulma there? Working on the Dragon Radar there. Why doesn't she just go home? Like, she clearly doesn't really like hanging out with any of them, or at least not Roshi. Well, maybe Krillin and Lunch are nice or something. And two, okay, there's one point when she starts talking about the whole microban incident and how Roshi was going to... Okay, did she know that? I thought the whole point was she didn't know that Roshi was spying on her on the toilet.
Yeah, no, I'm really curious. Like, I completely forgot. Like, now I'm wondering. I'm like, did we ever establish this? Because I could have sworn, like, at very least in the manga, I went on a tangent. Like the manga definitely drops the microband thing. And... like, I don't remember, like, because I feel like it's like the anime, like, just added in an extra, the Muten Roshi goes and, like, spies on Bulma scene, and then, like, he, like, falls in a toilet and gets flushed, and that's the last time, like, I think he just gets pissed off and, like, throws the microband on the ground, and then that's the last we see of it, and now it's just like, oh, I know it, like, I'm not gonna give you the microband back, fuck you, because of the pervy shit you were doing with it. And then Lunch is just like, what? What did the Muten Roshi do? And she's like, oh, well, he was like, and then he's just like, look, it's Goku. And it's just like, what? It's like, oh, never mind, it's seagulls. And then they had a pratfall, and I died on the inside. I hated this. I hated that so much.
Yeah, I'm just like, and I mean, like I said, once again, the other big issue with this is that it is nowhere near as interesting as the actual main plot, which we want to see. We want to see Goku and Tao, and now we're like, well, we ran out of manga, so here's some Bulma boobs.
Yeah, like,
I hope you're happy.
You could have just made the fight scene longer. I would have been okay with that.
Nope. No, this is Dragon Ball. We can't actually, no, we do sometimes extend fight scenes, but like kind of not really. If we extend something, we just have to do a cutaway. We don't do the everyone takes 10 minutes to charge their attacks. That was Z. That was like, was that Takao Koyama and whatever his name is,
Yeah,
the other dude.
we'll be getting that in the
guys they brought from Saint Seiya.
Yeah, we'll be getting that in the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai. But not yet. We don't get it yet.
Not yet. Right now we have to deal with more boobs. Anyway, so...
Yeah, titties. Your kids like titties, right? I mean, I'm not going to lie. 12-year-old me like titties. I'm not going to lie about that. But still, I'm a grown-ass adult now, and it just doesn't do it for me. Like, all right, it's not fun. It's not funny. Like, I don't mind sleazy fan service. I just find it boring and rote at this point because it's the same fucking joke over and over again. Come on, Toei staff, get some new fucking material. The same thing goes with Lunch and her fucking sneezing gag. I just...
Oh, yeah. Filler can be bad. Anyway, back to the plot.
So
Tao gets
back
pissed
to the
off
plot.
and Goku ruined his clothes, and then he tries to Dodonpa, and Goku can now just catch it with his hands.
Yeah, like it's dope.
I guess all that...
Like, it's dope.
Just got hand dexterity. He got hand dexterity.
Yes, okay, his power level increased, and now he is strong enough to block Ki Blast. This is how this works. This is Dragon Ball.
It's just the most boring way of doing it.
This is literally all Dragon Ball is, though. Like you became physically stronger, and now you are more durable. Like, that is literally just how Dragon Ball works.
It's not always the case.
Yes, it is.
It's not always the case. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
We can argue this off in somewhere else.
Okay.
There are times where they don't do that.
Okay, you're gonna make a mental note of this, and when it eventually happens in the show, you can point out to prove me wrong, because I am telling you right now, Dragon Ball training is always, we did this thing, we lift heavy thing, we ran far with heavy stuff, or we trained in heavy gravity. Now this has made us faster, stronger, and more durable because it has increased our power level. That is just Dragon Ball. Like, they lift heavy things.
I can only think, to be fair, I can only think of one exception. What? One in the entire franchise at the very least.
Okay.
Arguably kinda two, if you could sort of think about taking filler from Dragon Ball Super very literally, but mostly just one.
Okay. Also, he had to climb up Korin's tower twice. I mean, his hands are all calloused.
Alright, fine. Okay,
I just brought real world logic into this to prove my point and win this something.
That one's actually okay, to be honest.
What the hell? This is the most disjointed, rambly... no, this can't be the most disjointed and rambly one of these we've had, but certainly, it's certainly been a fun podcast. Okay.
Something. Anyway, and then Tao decides, oh no, my Dazunpa isn't gonna work. So you know what's gonna work? A sword.
Yes.
And we have a sword.
He pops one out of a capsule, and it's cool, and Oompa throws him the Nyoibo, and
which is good because it means that Uber actually does something.
Yeah, Oompa gets to do a thing. He throws the Nyoibo, but before all that, Goku is dodging all of Tao's attacks, and you know what? I'm just gonna have to do it. I have to call Toriyama on his bullshit inconsistencies of future established Dragon Ball lore. Goku is a pure-blooded Saiyan, and he had his hair cut.
They never. What do you mean? He never said that you cannot physically cut a person's hair. He just said that they wouldn't grow longer than once it reaches a certain point. It just doesn't grow out longer than that.
Oh no! See. I know that. You know that. You have no clue how many people have lost their shit over GT Vegeta having a haircut.
Of course.
People have gone on multi-paragraph rants to me about Vegeta having his hair cut because, Saiyans can't have their hair cut. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, that's not what he fucking said. He said their hair doesn't change.
I mean, you just have to think about the actual internal logic. Does that just mean that their hair is invincible?
Yeah, no, it's...
to themselves?
Yeah, literally,
their hair
it is the dumbest
destroyed?
fucking thing. I had to fucking do that because I wanted to just shit on stupid ass Dragon Ball fans who just take things that are said within the show incredibly literally. It's like, oh yeah, like a science hair doesn't change. It's like, yeah, it doesn't grow past a certain point. It doesn't mean it can't be cut. It doesn't, like, you know, if it gets cut, it doesn't magically grow back in seconds. God damn it. Sorry, Dragon Ball fans are stupid.
I mean, sort of. I mean, I've got to say though, something which is sort of good and kind of bad as well about this is what I do enjoy is that Tao cuts off a bit of Goku's hair with his swords, and it stays like that for the entire rest of the episode. They don't just be like, okay, look, you know, that kind of, like, I remember they did that in, like, DBZ Movie 1, I think, at one point, where, like, they cut off a bit of Goku's hair, but of course, you know, next scene, Goku's hair looks totally natural. And I think the next episode, Goku's hair looks totally natural, but at least for this episode, they still have, like, that bit of Goku's spikes just sort of notched off, which I thought was nice.
Good stuff.
That was good consistency.
Like, literally, like, even in the manga, like, his hair stays cut for, like, the rest of that chapter, I think, and then, yeah, like his hair stays cut for the rest of that chapter, which is not very long, but yeah, it is just a nice little detail. I enjoyed it, and you did too. I kind of wish they just kept it like that for the rest of the arc, but whatever. You know, Toriyama. I can't expect Toriyama to remember that he cut Goku's hair off. Also,
Toriyama remembered he cut Gohan's hair for a whole arc.
Yeah,
and everyone dealt with it.
Yeah, amazing. But you know, Gohan's not a full-blooded Saiyan.
I'm still shocked. I'm still shocked that they gave him the bowl cut the entire time, because it's supposed to look goofy and silly, and he kept it on it the entire arc.
Yeah, he really did.
It was fun. It's fun. It's fun what kind of things grow on you.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that, like, at no point did Gohan go, God, this looks fucking stupid, and he just, like, shaggied his hair up a little bit. He just kind of maybe had like a short shaggy do.
I mean, I guess it's kind of hard when it's like that, but who knows?
So
I don't know how guys' hair works. My hair has always been longer than that. So
as someone who frequently keeps their hair long, I mean, hair is hair. You know, it's just how it works.
Yep. Anyway,
okay.
plots.
Oh
yeah, right. We get to this part.
Goku easily snaps the sword with the Nyoibo because clearly, Tao did not go to Goten and Trunks' martial arts school for putting your ki into your weapons. He just didn't learn that yet. I just really wanted to make that stupid Dragon Ball Online reference. Are you still alive? Did referencing online kill you?
What? Yeah, I am. No, because I don't know much about online lore.
Say that again?
I did not pay attention to... I did not know anything about that lore.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's like just one of the little things from Dragon Ball Online where they're like, oh yeah, like in the like in the backstory of Dragon Ball Online, they're like Kuririn made like a kami school, and Tenshin Han.
I knew that part. I just didn't know about the.
Oh
yeah.
Weapons. Goten and Trunks, for some reason, have like a school for putting your ki into weaponry, which would make sense for future Trunks.
Great.
Not so much for.
I mean, as we all know, there is only one Trunks, and no matter what, even though they have different hair colors now, it's only one Trunks ever. Any Trunks will be future Trunks because nostalgia. Okay, anyway, can we get to the big elephant in the room, the elephant filler?
Wait, is there more filler in this episode?
Well, this episode leads to basically just filler, which all becomes filler.
God damn it, right. Because, because Goku's like, let's fight barehanded, and then Tao kicks a rock at Upa, and then fucking starts running up Korin Tower. And that's the end of the episode.
And I think the thing that just annoys me is just like, Goku just watches him and just lets him do that.
Yep.
Even though, like, he could easily just, like, jump up and stop him. He's like, nope. And Upa's like, I mean, Goku, isn't he going to get stronger then? He's like, no.
The water isn't real.
I just know. Yeah, I just
like,
know
Goku!
he won't get any stronger, and he won't be stronger than me. Like, Goku.
He's climbing the tower.
Like, do you even know?
He's doing the thing you did to get stronger, you dumb piece of shit. Ah!
And then, and then the next episode.
Oh my God.
And then just gets the next episode. It's just Goku and Uber just sitting there, eating and sleeping, and being like, Uber's like, are you sure you shouldn't have stopped him? He's like, nope. He's like, so what are we doing? He's like, I guess we're just
it's all good,
sitting
bro.
here
I got
and just
this.
waiting for the plot to show up again.
Yeah.
Just doing nothing.
This is one of the worst, most egregious parts of filler, where it's just like, you have literally just brought the big climactic fight to a fucking standstill for no goddamn
reason.
Well, not for no reason. It's because, padding. You need filler, but it's just, oh god, it was so badly done. It's just, god damn it. Like, I would have been much happier if you just gave Goku, like killed off Tao last episode, and then just had some fucking filler episode where Goku dealt with some other random fucking obstacle on his way to the Red Ribbon Army. Anything would have been fucking better than what we got here. God,
that would have actually made more sense, because there's just a big break, and it's like, okay, now I'm gonna go to the Red Ribbon Army. Of course, whatever. Yeah. Oh, this is weird. And then it's like this just goes on the entire episode, and it's just events. Like I said, these just events that just happen. It doesn't feel like there's any sort of underlying story or like momentum to any of it. It's just like, and then right. Also, you can't. I can't forget about the best part of the filler episode. Bulma is making a dragon radar, but there's a dragon radar signal jamming.
Yeah, okay. I want to talk about all the filler here, because there's so fucking much of it. The entire front half,
and none of it's good. None of it is good.
Okay, I'm gonna argue that a little bit, a tiny sliver of that I will argue, but for the most part, you are 100% correct. Okay, so Goku, he eats, he sleeps, and he dreams of Bulma's panties.
Oh yeah, what was this? I don't even get it.
What the fuck? What even was this? Why
they just
was
don't
this?
want to put in new footage, so they're just taking stuff from earlier and using it as a dream sequence?
I don't fucking know.
I don't get what the joke is.
I don't know either. And it was bad. It was stupid. I hated it. I don't know why it was here. Fuck you, episode of Dragon Ball, for making me think about fuck you. Alright? Fuck you. Anyhow. So yeah, panties, fucking dreaming, and Bulma, it's okay if you don't have a pee-pee and balls. I hate that. And then Bulma's just like, I made a new radar. Click, click. Oh no, my signal's being jammed by the radar. I wonder what's wrong with it. Muten Roshi, are you looking at nudie pics again? You're a pervert, Slap. Oh god.
Wow, you're such a pervert.
Also, can I just point out that it's... Also, can I just point out, one, bitch, you're in his house. If he wants to look at a goddamn nudie mag, that's his...
Why is she here? Go somewhere else. You are clearly not enjoying your time here. Go back home. Nobody's stopping you.
Yeah, and, okay, so, also, I want to point out it's kind of weird that, it looks like what falls out of his martial arts book is, just Polaroids. He didn't have, a nudie mag. Looks like there was a cover of a nudie mag, but then, what falls out of it is, individual photos. Is the Muten Roshi, spying on women and taking their goddamn pictures? Is that what I'm supposed to take away from this scene? Because that's really creepy, and I'm not okay with that. That's tier 3 pervert, and I'm only okay with the Muten Roshi being a tier 2 pervert. What the hell was I talking about? Oh, right. Then you find out the Red Ribbon Army has a signal jammer for reasons that I don't know.
And they've never used it until now, even though they knew that he had a dragon radar. But they didn't use it until now because reasons. And also, they're using it now, which means they don't even know if Tao has got the Dragon Balls yet or not. because they can't look at the Dragon Balls. And
right. It's dumb. And it's just like, really? Now is when you use this thing? Okay, whatever. Also, you don't even know if, like, their Dragon Ball tracking technology is the same as yours.
No, it is definitely going to work on all Dragon Radars in existence, because we know that because science.
Yeah. It's dumb. I hated this. And then we get, like, a kind of alright scene when... Okay, like, Tao going up to Korin, it's mostly terrible. I kind of like the scene where he, like, opens up the pot of water and it shows him, like, all of, like, a bunch of his recent past victims. Like,
that was cool.
That's kind of cool. Yeah. And, you know, making the best out of a bad situation, in terms of the bad situation being the existence of this filler. And Karin shows up and he's just like, if you don't give me you better give me the real fucking water, you stupid piece of shit cat. And he's just like, all right, but you can't watch me make the water. And he, like, flicks some snot in and spits in it. Which, all right, that got a chuckle out of me. I'm not gonna lie. In fact, saying it right now made me chuckle because it's such a dick move on Korin's part, but it's also kind of fucking funny too.
It's just like, it's just stretched out, and then it's like, you know, there's this really stupid thing where it's like, or I'm going to need a test to show you that it's the real thing. Okay, I'm going to look at this pillar and hit this and see if I can destroy this pillar. Hey, I can't destroy this pillar. Well, if after I drinking the water, I still can't destroy this pillar, I know that the water is fake, and then I'll kill this kid. I'm just like, how?
Right.
You have no idea what this water is. You have no idea how much stronger it is. You don't even know if it's physically possible to break that pillar. What is this?
Right. Yeah, like, he literally could have said, like, oh, well, that pillar's almost nearly indestructible. Like, it won't make you strong enough to do that. Like, that pillar can only be broken by God or some shit. It's, like, it's so dumb. It's so fucking dumb. Ooh, I hate it.
Yeah, and I think the thing that really upsets me the most about this stuff is it makes Karin look like a wimp. Like, he kind of doesn't get really beat.
Oh, yeah, no, he's a total punk
control. Bitch. Yeah, like, he's kind of being like a total pushover to Tao, and he can't do anything. And I'm like, this is the guy who, like, managed to, like, outsmart Goku for, like, 3 days. And suddenly Tao was giving him difficulty. Like, come on.
Yeah, no.
Like, he's supposed to be some god of martial arts, and Tao is just like, you have to do this or I'm gonna kill a kid, and you can't do anything about it, but even though you're like an all-seeing god who can read minds and shit. But
so yeah, he drinks the water and he shoots the pillar again, and the pillar cracks, but it didn't break, even though it cracking should show that he's stronger now. And, you know, it's like, oh, the pillar didn't fucking break. It's you gave it bullshit water. And Karin immediately backs down. It's just like, wait, the water's bullshit. Like, don't kill the kid. And then, like, Karin goes and, like, uses his magic staff to break the pillar. And he goes, oh shit, look, you broke the pillar. Look at that. And he goes, well, I guess I am stronger.
Yeah, it's just a slow It's slow acting. You know, you're just slowly getting stronger. That's why it didn't show up right away. The effects will show up later.
You know,
what is this?
I hate it. Like, I always hate when you try to explain something with, like, a delayed reaction shit. Unless you're doing it as a joke, like with Mr. Satan. And, like, like, you want me to take a shot at GT? I really hated it when they did it in GT. With the 10 times Kamehameha against Baby. Anyhow.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was weird.
Yeah, no, it's fucking completely nonsensical. Like, GT will just, like, do a weird thing, and then they'll give a bullshit explanation. I go, no? No. Fuck no. So yeah, the pillar breaks and Tao's like, oh well shit, I guess I'm stronger now. And and Karin's like, fuck, I don't want him getting stronger by running down the thing. Here, take this Kinto-un. You don't want to get tired from climbing down before a big fight.
So, and then in that case, it's like, isn't that still also helping him? Because yeah, then he would be tired. Then yeah, he wouldn't be in the great shape to fight. Karin, what are you doing? What?
Well, he doesn't want him gaining strength.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to gain any strength. But if he
tower.
shows up tired, Goku could still beat him anyway. I don't understand this.
Okay.
Well, I understand it.
Yeah,
but it's like there are things he's sort of like both helping himself and hindering himself at the same time. And can't he just do something that only hinders him?
Okay, so there's a couple things I want to say about this. One, I find it fascinating, utterly goddamn fascinating, that the anime staff established that Korin had access to, like, Kinto-uns, when we're going to find out much later in the source material that the Muten Roshi got his Kinto-un from Korin.
Yeah, that was a great coincidence.
Yeah, that's like a wild-ass coincidence. Like, that's like a weird-ass 1 in a million shot that they just took in that moment, and they, like wow, good on you, anime staff. You did some filler and you guessed the thing and it did actually happen. Holy fuck. But I did love the fact that there's this black Kinto-un that an evil person can ride, but it clearly obeys Korin.
I was going to say, I don't think it's specifically, only an evil person can ride it.
Well, no, an evil person can ride on it is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, it doesn't function like a regular Kinto-un.
Now, imagine if they had done one where they actually did have an evil Kinto-un that only evil people could ride. Now, that would be cool.
Yeah. But I do love it, like, he's on his way back down, and then Korin just kind of deactivates the Kinto-un on him and just drops his ass.
I mean, okay.
Hard.
Okay, other question. Couldn't he have, just as he was using the Kinto-un, just at the very top, he could have just made it deactivate and then just tried to murder him? Wouldn't that have been more, an easier way to deal with this?
Probably because dropping him from that height probably still wouldn't have killed him.
Of course not. Because
we're talking about Dragon Ball characters here. Like high falls at this point are not going to kill these characters. I mean, hell, they can already, Goku can, at this point, probably jump a third of the way up Korin Tower.
I mean, it still took him 3 hours to climb, so I wouldn't say that.
Well, I mean, it took him 3 hours to climb the second time, but, he's already trained again and climbed back down, so...
I guess, but yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, getting back on task, oh god, there's another filler scene. Another filler... this is exactly how I wrote this. Bulma works on the radar, again. And the Kami setting is a perv. Again. End scene.
I didn't even write it in, clearly, because I thought it was just so uneventful.
No. Yeah, no, it is so goddamn uneventful that I wrote it down just because it pissed me off that it showed up again. God fucking damn it. We just fucking had a scene of this at the beginning of this episode. It's gonna happen again, and I'm gonna bitch about it again when it happens. Where the hell am I? Where am I in my notes? I need... Where are the words I need to read?
And then Tao shows up and he's like, look, now I'm stronger. Look, I'm gonna beat up Goku. And look, I've killed Goku. But then Goku just gets up and he's fine. So, actually, no, you're not stronger than me. There's no real, punchline or discussion of, that wasn't the true sacred water. The true sacred water comes from the purity of your heart or some shit or whatever, and that's why you're not stronger. No, it's just well, I'm still stronger than you, so let's go back into the canon material. Let's go back into the manga.
Right.
And pretend none of that ever happened.
So, okay, something I did want to bring up, when he comes back down, though, Tao is just any last words? And Goku just responds with, I'll say what I want whenever I want. And I'm just like, what? It's like Goku just straight up talking shit, just fuck you, I do what I want. I'm Goku.
Write that on the shirt.
It was just a moment that just really made me chuckle. But yeah, so Tao whips Goku's ass for a bit, but he's completely okay. And then Goku just wrecks the shit out of Tao. And it's such a short scene. It's super duper short. And all of this is in the manga too. Like Tao suddenly getting the upper hand on Goku, and then Goku being perfectly okay. And then he's just alright, now I'm just gonna whip the shit out of you. And then Goku whips the shit out of him, and fight
Oh
over.
shit! It is in the manga.
Yeah.
Oh my god! So
it's
if anything, this makes more sense because it sort of explains why he was suddenly. That's very weird.
Yeah, like it was such a weird thing that I saw that in the manga.
So basically, both versions are bad right now.
Yeah, it's a really weird moment where both are kind of dumb. Where like the anime's dumb because it completely derailed the action to just have Tao Pai Pai run up the tower and then come back down. But then it's also dumb in the manga because out of nowhere, Tao's just like, I'm gonna be serious now. And he just starts wailing on Goku and does a flurry of hits and like really tears into Goku, but Goku's still powerful enough that it doesn't really affect him. And so Tao gets this, I'm fucking stronger than you moment.
Just
You're
reading
dead.
this, it looks like maybe Goku was just wanting to see what he could do, so he let himself get hit on purpose, I guess, but it's I don't know why. It's weird. Basically, this is all silly, this is all really dumb, and I don't know, like, this fight has been stretched out, especially in the anime version. I don't know why. This should be very straightforward. I don't know why they're trying to make it so complicated.
Yeah, and, like, it's weird, too, because this is after, because, I mean, this is, like, after Tao has felt the need to break out a sword. Like, the Dodonpa has been blocked. He's felt the need to break out a sword. Like, this feels like this should have just been, like, at the beginning of the fight. Like, it should have been the beginning of the fight, and...
Yes, maybe.
Yeah, like, and Goku, like, gets taken off guard for a moment, and it's just like, wow, you ain't shit, and then just kind of kicks his ass, and that's when he goes into the Dodonpa and the sword, and trying to use trickery.
Yeah, this is very weird.
But they don't. Like, it's a really weirdly ordered sequence of events. And, like you said, like, both are dumb, but for different reasons now. Huh.
Indeed.
Somewhere, a certain person who has a counter dedicated to them is weeping.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about him as well. But it's like, listen... I remember you really liked this, and I'm like, it's okay, I guess, but there's weird things in it. Like, it definitely feels like it's got some growing pains here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, like, it's one of those things, like, I feel like I was gonna be the avid defender coming in like, nah, fuck you, Gabby, this stuff's awesome, and here's why, and now I'm like, fuck, I have to backpedal on some shit. Oh, no, I'm really worried that, like, I'm gonna, like, get to the Saiyan arc, and I'm like, oh no, is the Saiyan arc not Kino? Is this not as good as I remember? Oh no, is the Piccolo Daimao arc actually...
It's just called growing up, it's fine. Huh? It's just growing up, it's fine. We all change our opinions.
Oh no. Okay, so Tao begs for his life, throws a grenade, and Goku just kicks the grenade back at him, and seemingly kills Tao.
And Goku and Upa celebrate about how they just murdered a dude. Yay!
Yeah! Yay, murder! We ended a human life.
I mean, he was a bad guy, it's fine. Yay, better.
Yeah, no, like he murdered his tailor for no goddamn reason.
Yay, vengeance! I look like I'm like 5 years old, but yay, vengeance!
So, this then cuts to another really stupid goddamn filler scene. Oh my god.
Oh hey, you're alright, of course.
Yeah, no, this one's really dumb too, because they're like, oh man, the tracker that we put into Tao's belt deactivated. He must be dead. Wah, 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 wah. And I'm like, are you fucking... What? You put a tracker... Motherfucker changed clothes. Like, you had an entire storyline where he got... Did you have the tailor?
I didn't even think about that. I was just thinking more like, this is the guy who, like, showed up, like, killed one of your officers, like, took absolutely no shit from any of you, and you're saying that you managed to sneak in something and was tracking him from the guy who was, like, in control the whole time? I don't believe that.
Yeah, no, like, it's like, somehow you were able to stealth put a tracker on the greatest assassin in the world, who murdered the strongest guy in your army with his tongue. but also, like, did you call up his tailor and like, here's this tracking device, sew it into his belt? Also, could you think that, like, maybe, I don't know, like...
And he totally won't find it and kill you.
Yeah,
yes.
like, did you think that maybe, I don't know, like, also, that, Goku could have kicked him in his waist and broken it? Anything could have happened? Even if you did... Like, this, it's so stupid. It's so goddamn stupid, and I fucking hate it. Oh my god. It was one of those dumbass things.
I mean, I didn't even think about the worst, some of the worst part of the filler, where, don't worry, Bulma made the dragon radar that bypasses the jamming
I'm not done
signal.
bitching about the other thing.
Hold
up, because I still have more to complain to.
Oh, okay. Alright, sorry.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
They have a signal jammer that can block the dragon radar, but apparently it doesn't block their tracker on Tao? Like in this episode...
Nope. Because those track the Dragon Ball waves.
Right?
These aren't Dragon Ball waves. They're Tao tracking waves.
It's dumb, and I hate it. Also, things that I hate. So yeah, here's the note I took on this. Bulma fixes the Dragon Raider again, and the Kami's sending is a perv again.
What an important plot point that definitely needs to be shown up 3 times this entire episode.
3? Well, no, see, it's the rule of 3. It's not funny the first time, but on the third time, it's comedy fucking gold. Oh my fucking god.
Anyway, and then the last plot is Goku realizes that, hey, the last 2 ? Dragon Balls are at another place, which is probably where the Red Ribbon Army is, so he goes there. Oh my god.
Yeah, and
filler is killing me.
This is done. Okay, so, man, some of this filler has been pretty fucking egregious. I'm gonna say that right now. But I feel like it doesn't hurt it as much as I bitched. Really, it's just, there are moments that are just so bad that it just angers me that they are in this. But they also take up very small parts of it, and... as a whole...
I wouldn't say necessarily in this episode.
No, not this episode. This episode was really fucking bad. Because what made it so goddamn bad is, like, the big climactic fight scene is now undercut because it's just the tail end of it.
Yep. And it's just like...
Tao raffle stomps Goku for a moment, and then Goku raffle stomps Tao, and then Tao throws a grenade, and then Goku kicks the grenade back, and it's over. And... like, that works as a crescendo to your fight. It's like, oh, the big finale of a longer fight. But, no, I hated it. It was dumb and I hated it.
Can we basically say the anime ruined Goku versus Tao?
It definitely ruins it because it literally stops the fight to go fuck off and do something else.
Alright, yeah.
Like, it didn't, like, fuck off to show, like... It didn't, like, fuck off to, like, go show... other characters doing shit. No, it fucked off. Like, this is probably like one of the problems with this arc being so Goku focused, in that you don't have other characters to cut away to for filler. Like, you don't like you don't have a lot of opportunities to show other characters doing other things.
Nope.
Like, at very least on Namek, and oh my god, I'm about to use Namek as a positive fucking example of filler. Kill me. When they were on Namek, you could at least cut to Goku training and doing new different things. And having his own little subplots. You know, you could cut to Vegeta doing a thing, and Frieza doing a thing, and Zarbon doing a thing, and Kuririn and Gohan and Bulma doing a thing. A lot of those things end up being boring, but at least they feel like
they make sense.
They're not completely wholly removed from the core story.
Yeah, and it's just... Unfortunately, I think my issue as well, when you're a manga reader, the issue with it is that, like, sometimes it doesn't exactly flow naturally back into the main story. It's like things, they do alter things. And sometimes it helps, like when they changed the climate, they changed some of the things in the Korin episode, so they got a bit of a better climax for that one episode. But then, there's just things where it's like, you know, you can't just pretend that the filler doesn't happen, or like you just turn your brain off there, because like in say for the part where Tao goes and climbs the tower, because like, you know, Tao is involved there. You'd think that it's part of the main story. You wouldn't know that this was filler until you read the manga, and then you realize it's filler. So it's really hard to just like turn your brain off like you did every time you were on Namek and like Bulma just shows up and you're like, okay, I know this isn't going to be relevant because I understand what this kind of thing is going to be like, so I'm just going to stop and wait until something important happens.
Yeah.
Also, it just makes the story feel very like just very disjointed because all of these plot elements just keep happening, and like they don't really lead to another because some of them are filler and some of them aren't. So it just feels like, oh, here's a plot point and here's another plot point that's not really very important or mean much, but it's also part of the story, so you can't skip it. And it's just like, oh, like it's just. Just read the manga. Like, the manga, it doesn't have too much extraneous bullshit that just, like, does nothing. And it's just making the story go out longer.
You know, honestly, I can't believe I'm saying... Like, I used to be under the impression that Dragon Ball's filler wasn't that bad. But, like, when I actually have to sit down and pay attention to it for the sake of this podcast, it really makes me focus on the fact that, oh my god, we're cutting back to Bulma and the Muten Roshi having like a pervert fan servicey scene. Like, and we're doing this exact same sequence multiple times. And we're just doing the same fucking joke over and over.
I mean, that's more of a Z filler
like this,
thing.
This last episode...
My issue is the filler that ties into the story and sort of replaces other parts of the manga.
Oh, that's bad too. It's bad. It is. But it's I've never thought that the whole Tao that Tao fucking off mid-fight thing was ever particularly good. Like, I don't remember ever liking like the whole pillar thing, and this is before I even read the manga, so I didn't even know for a fact that was filler. But I did know that like the whole pillar thing was kind of dumb, and that this kind of completely broke up the flow, and I always thought it was a weird narrative choice that was being made. And yeah, like I don't know why they did it. Like, they could have just extended the Tao fight a bit and then just had an episode where Goku just had an extra obstacle to deal with on his way to the Red Ribbon Army camp. Like, it's like, there are things that they could have done instead of this. And, like, really, this last episode, because, like, beyond this, I feel like this was a fairly solid set of episodes. Like, I like Korin, I like all the shenanigans on the tower, I like the training, like the little filler bits I thought were creative and weird and fun. Some of the Tao stuff kind of sucked, but it was short, and it didn't derail the story for very long. You know, even like the one Commander Red scene. It cut to Commander Red for like the first time in these episodes, and I liked it because it had a cute Junkin joke, and it had like a little bit of character moment for Black, and it was good, and I liked that, and like a lot of the stuff. But then it's just like, oh, we're gonna cut the Kame house to see them doing a thing, and we're gonna do the Muten Roshi's a pervert. Okay, fine. But then the next episode, we're going to do that exact same thing 3 more fucking times. Also, we're just going to cut to the Red Ribbon Army base for reasons. Shut the fuck up, that's why. And then Tao's going to run up this tower, and it's not going to actually mean anything.
Like, it's...
I want to die.
It's funny that you mentioned that you feel like it doesn't take any focus away from the story, but I think that's precisely what a lot of this does. Like, This is something that should be really simple, and you should just focus on that and not cut away to everything else that's only even just tangentially related. Even, some of the other stuff where Korin's just like, you know, writing things and washing his plates and, you know, like, just cutting... every time that you're cutting away to something that's not related to what's in the manga, you just lose a bit of that focus. And it just makes it, like, it does not feel like this is strongly plotted. It feels like there's a plot here, and then the plot is just sort of wandering around in circles, and at some point, I guess Tao got defeated, but I couldn't even tell you how or why, because it's just lost in the noise of just things and people and cutaways.
I am going to mostly disagree with that because, like, I don't mind cutting away from the core story to show characters doing things as long as they're not showing them doing the exact same things we've seen them doing over and over and over again. Because I like breaking up the core narrative. Like, if you're just following one set plot line, it's just like, yeah, no, like, I don't mind seeing Tao having a cool little badass moment. I don't mind seeing all the weird mystical shit that is on Korin Tower, because like it's making Korin Tower feel like this more mystical thing instead of just being a big ass tower with nothing of interest there. Because like if you look at the manga, Korin Tower doesn't feel remotely special. Like the only thing about it is it's a really big ass tower, and like there's an 800-year-old talking cat that's an ancient martial artist. That cat is like the one weird thing in a fairly normal, and a magic bean. So when you add these other elements to it, like the pots that show the past, present, future, that I think is a really cool addition. Showing just, and once again, the dishwasher cabinet thing, like it is just a background detail. It is a background detail because Korin is still having dialogue. And he's having dialogue that actually is from the manga because he's talking about the whole altitude thing. And yes, because of how they rearrange the scenes, it doesn't work as well. But he is still talking to him about relevant stuff. And so, like, it's just a background detail. It's like whenever Karin's talking about the Muten Roshi being the first guy to have ever, or the only guy to have ever gotten the water. In the anime, it's raining and there's lightning and it's more dramatic. And like that's not how it's presented in the manga. It's just a background detail. And the same thing with the weird dishwasher waterfall cabinet thing. It is just a weird little background detail that apparently horribly distracted you. But I thought it was just like, oh, it
didn't like cool. I said, it didn't distract me actually that much at all. It was just an example of just one thing.
Okay.
And it's just like I said, and it's just these things add up. Like I said, they add up. Maybe one thing is a background detail, but when it's just suddenly, and let's cut to another background detail, and let's cut to Goku looking at the jugs again, although he's not getting any really new information about it, and let's cut to a dream sequence, and let's cut to okay, I appreciate the idea, but like maybe if you had about a third of these cutaways, it'd be okay.
Well, I mean, they're not even cutaways.
There is too much fluff.
A lot of these things are
there is too much fluff to not enough actual, hey, what is happening and why should we care? Is like, I just don't like how much fluff there is. And I understand that they need this amount of fluff, but it does not make it very compelling.
Okay.
It makes it being like, I don't know what's happening because I don't know what's more important and less important.
Okay. Like I said, I'm going to defend like half the fluff amongst these episodes. A lot of the fluff I'm not defending is in that last fucking episode because it was horribly egregious and I hate it all. But like I said, like I like kind of like the little fluffier moments. I like giving
fluff
scenes.
Fluff is okay.
I like giving scenes.
Fluff is okay.
Room. And yeah, like I mean, as long as they're nice little character moments, I'm okay with them. And honestly, like if it wasn't for the fact that I have the manga right here, I wouldn't have known a lot of that stuff was filler to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, for me, fluff is okay. I'm fine with adding in fluff, but like I said, I think it's just as I was watching this, I was like, there is so much fluff here. I am losing focus onto what exactly is supposed to be the main story, when this should be quite simple to understand what's important and what's less important. Here, I'm like having to go around and check and be like, is the thing that Korin is saying here in this random scene important? Is this part not important? I don't think this part was actually important, so I kind of feel like I just wasted 3 minutes of a lot of attention for something that actually didn't matter. Like I said, it's. I just think in these episodes, and I think, I mean, a lot of Dragon Ball in general, to be honest, it just has, every time it's happened, I just lose a bit of my focus, and then it's just like, I could not tell you what happened in these episodes.
Gabby just with her pure savagery and her disdain of the gag manga prequel.
I'm not even being savage. It's not even that. Like I said, it's just, I mean, obviously the ideal version of this kind of doesn't really exist, or at least the ideal anime version of this doesn't exist. And it couldn't have existed because of the way that the anime was produced. They needed to have had filler, or else it would have overtook the manga. But it sucks, and I can't do anything about it. But it doesn't make that.
I mean, you can make your own fan edit.
Yeah, but that would probably. Actually, in some ways you could, but in other ways you can't, because the filler is so integrated into the way that the events unfold that you kind of have all these like discontinuity. Anyway, yeah, it's filler for like the whatever 16th episode or 17th episode that we're talking about filler, but it's a thing. It's never gonna go away.
Yeah, no, it will never go away. And for the most part, like I said, I'm fine with it. It was just like, putting it in this last episode is where that was my breaking point, because like all the rest of the stuff, I feel like they were short enough scenes that didn't break up the pacing too much. A lot of the filler was still on Korin Tower, so it wasn't pulling away from the main focus of the story. Where it kills me, where I draw my, okay, this filler was not okay line, was when it cuts to, like, Tao Pai Pai just stopping mid-fight, like mid-finale, mid-climax, and he just runs up a tower. It's like, what? Why? What was that? Why was that a thing? Like you stop that, and then he comes back down, and there's a shit ton of filler also all up in there that's completely unrelated, and then it completely ruins the finale of the fight, because all you're getting is just the very tail end of what was a longer fight. Like, it's not like you made like a new fight to replace the old fight that you interrupted. You just picked the fight up where it left off, and then that's it. It was bad. I hated it.
So, how about you guys in the comment section? What do you guys think of Dragon Ball filler? Are you watching along with us? If you are, then what do you guys think about this batch of episodes? And if you aren't watching along, but you kind of sort of remember watching Dragon Ball, what do you think about Dragon Ball filler? What about comparing it to Dragon Ball Z filler? What do you think about the whole filler issue in general? Why don't you leave your comments in the video description, and we might get back to you.
Okay, so we're gonna do comments now. Okay, so normally we usually go back like 2 weeks and, 2 episodes back and read those comments. Instead, what we're going to do is we're just going to go through, since it's been so goddamn long since we last did one of these, we're going to just pick the most relevant comments, the ones that are kind of the less dated ones that aren't, less specific or whatever, and just kind of, breeze through both last episodes and the episodes before last, and then from here on out we will read comments from one episode prior, and hopefully we might get onto a schedule and like record this on a regular basis.
Ooh,
yeah,
a schedule? Is that something you can eat?
Oh, well played, Gabby. I like that one. Good on you. Yeah.
Yay! What do I
win? You win listening to me reading a comment.
Oh.
It's a very shitty prize. I know. I'm sorry.
Oh well.
This one comes from Nate RG. Regular Dragon Cast episodes ? Exclamation point. Yeah, no, that's not it. But seriously, thank you so much for both. Thank you so much. You're both super smart and helpful. Never stop creating. I'm sorry. I'm so goddamn
I'm sorry as well. So, I don't make videos either anymore. So depressing.
But yeah,
I want to make videos. I'm gonna have to quit. That's some kind of sign of me quitting.
So yeah, that came from Nate RG. So thank you for that one. But yeah, no, thank you. Like, it is really. I'm glad that you think that we're smart, even though I think we're just a couple of nerds talking about a kid's cartoon from Japan from the 80s through 90s. But thank you for your nice comment. It was nice. Simply Asian said, Korin has seen Shenlong when he was wished back at the end of the Piccolo Daimao arc. Daimao also has the same voice actor as Kami. Oh, I guess that was something that we were debating. I did remember us asking, like...
I was gonna say, if we could figure out where on earth we were discussing that.
Yeah, no, like, I remember us bringing up, like, who's seen Shenlong and who hadn't, and us being confused, and... So, yeah.
Oh, right, because I think we were talking about, like, lunch. I think, like, saying that lunch hadn't seen Shenlong before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was probably something along those lines.
Or something like that.
The Light B making a joke about power scaling rope.
Oh, yeah, of course. The fucking rope.
Didgeridoo, in total agreement that the Pirate Cave segment totally dragged out in the anime. Watched about halfway so far, and I can only comment up to that. Okay, cool. He watches along. I hear you mentioned Gohan's Super Saiyan 2 versus Cell Jr.'s being out of character, but I don't feel... Oh my god, this is a really long one. I am sorry. I'm not going to read all of that. It's too late. And, like, we've been going too long. I am sorry.
Yeah,
I did not realize
what I was...
Yes.
It's all my fault.
Oh god. When people think of OG Dragon Ball's filler, they usually think of the post-Daimao filler. The Mutaito filler and the Holy Sacred Water filler, which definitely elevated the story. That is why I think people have fond memories of DB filler. I can back that up. I have the same thing. And I am learning my lessons. Although many will say that the filler in the Red Ribbon arc ruined it for them. Yeah, no, I can kind of back that up at the moment. Also, you guys should start a Patreon so that you can make some revenue out of this. I know I'll donate. I mean, making a Patreon for this podcast would be, I don't know. Like, I feel like we don't make it anywhere near consistently enough.
We don't put enough effort into this.
I mean, it does take us quite a while. I mean, when you think about, okay, we have to spend...
Yeah, I know, like, editing takes a long time, but besides that, it's like, all it really tests is my mental fortitude.
But, I mean, we also have to dedicate the time to... Okay, like, technically, if you think about it, we are putting a significant amount of time into this because we have to watch the episodes...
Yeah, but, like, people put a significant amount of time into watching their own television, into, like, watching TV, catching up on Netflix or whatever, and they don't get paid for that.
Right, but, I'm saying, no, that we are taking time to watch these shows, like, watch these specific episodes for a specific purpose while taking notes and comparing it to the manga. And, I mean, there's a good bit of work, because I don't know about you, but it takes me in the neighborhood of a little over 2 hours to watch these 4 episodes every single time. And that's with me skipping the intros and outros. And then, of course, the 2.5 hours we spend recording.
Yeah.
And then the 2.5 plus hours we spend editing. So yeah, there is quite a bit that actually does go into these. I would say for us to justify a Patreon for it, I think we'd have to produce them on a more consistent basis. Not saying it's impossible,
and I can't reliably say that I could do that because I'm a lazy person.
And also,
if you want to know the real answer, I am a lazy person. I can't say I'm totally going to make videos regularly, and I will totally come up with videos that I like regularly and videos that I'm proud of regularly. I can't say that because I never can.
And also, like, what the hell would we even offer as rewards for a podcast? Do we just, like, name drop you, like in between episodes? Like, I don't even know.
DMs. Get free DMs. I don't know. Yeah, like, why do people watch this? Actual question. Why do people watch it? Like, what do they get out of this besides us just rambling all the time? Like, what do you guys get out of hearing us ramble? I am legitimately curious, and this isn't just like a, hey, let's get that, what's the word? Audience engagement. No, it's not even like that. I'm just legitimately curious what you guys, when you watch the Dragon Cast, what do you actually get out of it when you're not getting bored? If you're getting bored.
Okay, so I did want to say that, like, as someone who does listen to podcasts pretty frequently. I listen to quite a lot. A lot of it's just, the banter between the hosts and what they have to say about the topics that they're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Because the appeal of a podcast is like you're getting to like listen to a conversation between friends, and it has like a nice breezy comfort to it. It's where or also just getting to listen to people argue and just getting to hear like the tension and bickering.
We were arguing, definitely.
And we do. Yeah, we do. And like we disagree. I mean,
we don't always argue. It's just that.
Well, no, we don't. No. But like, I mean, like when we go off on weird tangents or we have something really insightful to say, because I feel like every single one of these, like at least once we got past, I think like the peel off arc. Because the peel-off arc was a lot of establishing stuff. There isn't a whole lot of interesting stuff to say in the peel-off arc.
Yeah.
I feel once we got past that, once we got past that, we had more interesting things to say, like more meaningful things to say about like the Muten Roshi, his training, what the characters were getting out of it. Filler scenes with lunch were becoming egregious, so we had more things to complain about there.
How do you remember all of this? It's like I don't even remember what we had to say every episode.
I mean, I'm not even specifically remembering specific things that we talked about, but I do know that those are things that we brought up. It's just like we did have more things to say. We have a pretty good banter. We're pretty good friends, and we have good podcast chemistry for this. And people just like hearing nerdy people geek out about the shit that they like and also bitch about the things that they like. I mean, hell, that's like 90% of what YouTube is.
I guess so. Anyway, also, if you guys agree with Zion, I legitimately want to hear, because I like hearing people tell me that I am doing something that they like, because it makes me feel good about myself.
And okay, so let's see. Nalight B had another one. I knew about Dr. Slump a bit before the episodes, and I enjoyed them. Okay, talking about the Dr. Slump, filler stuff in Penguin Village.
Yep.
I remembered when DBS's episode 69 came out, there was so much hate on the Dokkan Reddit about Arale. People were screenshotting super attacks where Arale gets attacked. If you had said anything good about Arale, you were downvoted. Wow.
Ooh.
Honestly though, if you are the type of person who goes to the Dokkan Reddit, I can imagine you being some sort of troglodyte mouth breather who couldn't appreciate something like Arale.
Oh yeah,
and probably
I
would
heard
also
that, like
like not gonna like sit there and shove an entire category of the Dragon Ball fandom into a box. I mean, no, that's exactly what I'm about to do. But I can see those being the exact same people who wouldn't like Arale or who think Ribrianne sucks. And
yeah, I was gonna say, because I heard that apparently the Dragon Ball Legends subreddit went on a bit of a kind of explosion when they saw that Ribrianne was getting a unit and not the characters that they wanted. Why is Ribrianne getting? And what if Watch is actually good? I don't want to use Ribrianne.
Yeah, no, it kills me too. Like, I mean,
I'm trying not anyway. I don't want to be insulting here, obviously. But
I do. Because fuck those people. Ribrianne was great.
Yeah, you do. I don't.
Look, okay.
I'm good cop. You guys can like what you like. It's just I've heard about this kind of stuff, and it's not me. I'm not that person. I don't really understand these people. Doesn't mean they're bad or whatever. I just don't understand them. And
well, I'm gonna be bad cop.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to deal with that random commenter.
Yeah. No, like that is bad though. Because like, God, the Dragon Ball fandom is such a dude bro-y fucking fandom, and it kills me.
I know, right? It's like, sometimes I think it's fine, and then like I just go on to like Reddit or whatever. God, like I go on to like the DVD subreddit, and I just say like anything that has even slightly a tangential link to something to do with like feminism, and immediately get downvoted. It's kind of insane.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, like imagine like just being like just being me, like it's just like being someone who comes off as like a bit of a prissy guy. I'm also, a ranty edgelord, but at the same time, though, like, the things that I appreciate about the show, like, I talk about plot and subtext and theming and all this gay shit that isn't guys punching each other. Why are you trying to, like, overcomplicate my dude bro punchy anime?
What about people punching each other in gay ways?
I mean, at the end of the day, you guys are watching a show about shirtless, sweaty men pounding each other for hours on end. Just saying. Did you have any good questions from your last episode?
The only one I've got is from Lance. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh no, wait, I have one more to read from here.
Yep.
Reckless Biscuit, RIP Dragon Cast from 7 months ago. I'm sorry, we're back now, okay? We're not dead.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I mean,
now...
maybe I have one, two more, but yeah, one's from Lance Ding 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 Ding, who was saying that the response to the question as to whether or not we or him would make it to the boot arc first. And so he's like, I'm the last person to say I'm making my way through the franchise at a swift professional pace, but I think it's especially fair to say, given how long it took this episode to come out, that I'll make it to the boot arc before you guys do. Which I think is the most Lance way to respond to that ever.
You know what? Okay. Yes, it is. He does it in the most polite, Lancey, non-douchey way possible. And, like, God damn it, I wish he had the capacity to be more douchey. Because he comes across with everything with just peak politeness. I don't know how the hell we're friends with him.
I'm polite sometimes.
I don't know how he's friends with Danny. I don't know how he's friends with me.
I'm not a rude person, right? I don't want to be a rude person.
I mean, like, you are not the pinnacle of human politeness that he is.
No, I used to be, and then the internet happened, and now I've become more
cynical and jaded
loud.
And angry and dead on the inside.
Cynical and jaded and loud, and yeah, exactly. It's sad. It's very sad. Anyway, also, Yannick Held said, if you think about it, Goku basically stopped killing his enemies after his training with Kami. He didn't kill Piccolo Jr., he didn't want to kill Raditz at first, he didn't kill Nappa or Vegeta, and he didn't kill any of Frieza's men or even Frieza himself. Which is, yeah, that it's a quite common headcanon I've heard, that the idea was, like, during his training with Kami also taught him about the value of life, and that's why he doesn't kill anybody after that point. But that's a headcanon, and there's no real evidence of the show that actually says, hey, that was what happened. But yeah, it's interesting that was basically the turning point. Although Banana Tree 25 also mentions that he does kill Yakon without remorse in the boot arc, so...
Okay, I was about to say, because I was about to pull up the Yakon rep thing, and also, Goku's usually had some kind of reasoning, except for Frieza. I feel like Frieza's the one character where he didn't have a good reason to let them live. But yeah, like, with Vegeta, he had reasons. Very dumb reasons, but he had reasons. And he did have slightly more altruistic reasons for not killing Piccolo because he didn't want to kill God. So, like, there is that, and...
Still, then there's, like, stuff like the Ginyu Force and whatnot, where he's just like, alright, I'm just gonna leave them there. Listen, you guys go, get out of here. I'm not killing you.
Yeah, it is kind of a weird thing, but once again, like, the Yakon thing is not filler. That is Goku totally just murdering a bitch in cold blood and going, well, alright, I beat my guy. Like, wow, bro.
Yeah, I think it's just a consequence of that kind of weird, almost tone, like, change in tone in the early Buu arc, where everyone's like, well, this isn't actually such a big deal. We're totally just gonna go around and beat these guys and go off home. And Kaioshin's just like, are you guys out of your fucking minds? What are you doing?
Right.
And it's the best. Oh yeah, the other thing is a lot of people are talking about, so this was the time where I was saying that I wanted to do a Women in Dragon Ball, like, roundtable thing with Kamea-con, and oof. Big oof.
Yeah, no.
That would have been a thing, right? Imagine doing a Women in Dragon Ball panel at the same place where Vic Mignogna was there.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, no, that would have been... Honestly, I mean, I think that would have been like some real big dick energy if you had just done it regardless. That would have been kind of great.
I mean, yeah, but like, I mean, yeah. In the end, I was just gonna do a Gohan one anyway, just because
Right.
that was the plan before things happened, and
Yeah, same here. I mean, not a Gohan panel,
anxiety also happened,
Mhm.
and anxiety also happened, and it sucked. Life
Yeah.
sucked. Maybe I'll talk about it later in another Dragon Cast, and I'll tell you about my panic attack or not. But yeah, there's some other discussions here, but I'm hungry. I'm hungry, guys. I want to eat my dinner.
Okay, so
and it's almost it's 2 hours and 40 minutes.
It is. Is this our longest one? Jesus Christ, I don't even know.
It probably was, because we were just going on tangents every second.
God, yeah, no, this is a lot longer than our longest one.
I'm sorry.
Jesus. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. Hopefully the next one of these will not be too far behind. My PC
and won't be this long.
Is unfucked, so I can make content. I am moved into my new place, so I'm not distracted with that bullshit. Gabby is not in uni, so she's not distracted with that. So, haha! All of the bullshit that was fucking over the Dragon Cast is not fucking over the Dragon Cast anymore. So, we will have another episode, hopefully in a timely fashion.
Wow.
You know what? I want to say, do you want to try and aim for every other week?
I mean, aiming sounds nice, but I guess we'll see what I'm doing.
Because I feel like every other week, that gives each person 2 weeks to edit their podcast. So I feel like that's a good amount of time.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess we'll see. We'll see, right?
There you go. Gabby said it. This is now
I said
every
we'll
other
see.
week podcast.
I said we'll see. It's not a confirmation.
You heard it first here. 100% confirmed. Bye.
Bye.